Hey there, folks. Welcome to Jim Tells You. I'm Jim, and boy, do I have a lot to tell you. A few weeks ago, I decided to start this channel, and let me tell you, it's been one heck of a ride already. I'm so excited to share all sorts of crazy, interesting, and downright mind-blowing stuff with you all. Now, you might be wondering, Jim, what's this channel all about? Well, buckle up, because we're going on a wild ride through just about everything under the sun and beyond. We're talking news, current events, and all that jazz, but with a twist. You see, I'm not your average Joe News guy. I like to dig deep, ask the tough questions, and sometimes, well, let's just say things get a little out there. Speaking of out there, let me tell you about our conspiracy theory segments. Oh boy, these are going to be fun. We're going to dive into all those juicy theories that keep you up at night. You know, the ones your crazy uncle talks about at Thanksgiving dinner? Yeah, those ones. But here's the kicker, we're going to look at them with a critical eye, have some laughs, and maybe, just maybe, uncover some mind-blowing truths. But wait, there's more. Are you ready for this? We're going to talk about ancient aliens. That's right, folks, those big-headed green little fellas that supposedly built the pyramids and taught our ancestors how to make killer guacamole. We're going to explore all those theories, from the plausible to the downright wacky. It's going to be a blast. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jim, this all sounds great, but what about the serious stuff? Don't worry, I've got you covered. We're going to tackle government cover-ups head-on. No stone left unturned, no shadowy figure left in the dark. We're shining a light on all the secrets they don't want you to know about. It's going to be eye-opening, folks. But hey, it's not all serious business and tinfoil hats around here. We're going to have some fun, too. I'm talking reviews of the latest movies, TV shows, and video games, and let me tell you, I've got some hot takes that'll make your head spin. We'll dive into the world of comic books, exploring the latest storylines and debating who'd win in a fight between Batman and Iron Man. Spoiler alert, it's Batman, always Batman. And for all you music lovers out there, we've got a treat for you. We're going to break down the hottest tracks, uncover hidden gems, and maybe even dabble in some music conspiracy theories. Did Paul McCartney really die in 1966? Is Tupac still alive? We'll get to the bottom of it all. Now, I know what you're thinking, Jim, this sounds amazing, but what about food and drinks? Well, let me tell you, we're not leaving that stone unturned either. We're going to explore culinary delights from around the world, try out some crazy food combinations, and maybe even uncover some secret restaurant menus, and don't even get me started on the drinks. We are going to mix up some cocktails that will knock your socks off and maybe even discover the secret ingredient in Coca-Cola. Who knows? But here's the thing, folks. This channel isn't just about me telling you stuff. It's about us, this community we're building. I want to hear from you. Drop your thoughts in the comments, share your own theories, and let's get a conversation going. And hey, if you're feeling extra generous, those super chats are always appreciated. I promise I'll do my best to respond to each and every one of them. Now, I know I've thrown a lot at you, but trust me, it's going to be one heck of a ride. We're going to laugh, we're going to learn, and we might even blow our minds a few times along the way. But here's the most important part. Don't forget to smash that subscribe button and ring that bell. You don't want to miss out on all this awesomeness. Do you? And hey, while you're at it, give that like button a little love too. It helps the channel grow, and the more we grow, the more crazy stuff we can explore together. Who knows? Maybe we'll even uncover the truth about why YouTube keeps changing its algorithm. Now that's a conspiracy theory I can get behind. So, are you ready to join me on this wild adventure? Are you ready to question everything you thought you knew? Are you ready for Jim Tells You? Because let me tell you, folks, I'm ready to blow your minds. So buckle up, grab your tinfoil hats, and let's get this show on the road. I can't wait to see you all in the comments, and I'll catch you in the next video. Until then, keep questioning, keep exploring, and most importantly, keep being awesome. This is Jim, signing off. See you soon, folks.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Jim, and this is Jim Tells You, where I tell you stuff that hopefully I'm not just making up as I go along. I'm just kidding. I'm here to tell you some things. We're going to catch up on a little news and some other stuff, and hopefully have a couple guests. One guest is here, and his name is Stimulated Cynic.
What
Kind
up,
of
buddy?
cynical. What's up, buddy? Where you been? How you doing?
Oh man, I've been real busy. I just got back home last week. I'd been in Birmingham for like 2 months straight, and then got back home Wednesday or Thursday, I forget. And then it's graduation season, so I had family graduating all weekend. So it's been busy, man. Life.
Yeah,
How about
it
you? Where
is.
you been?
Just taking care of the grandkids, doing stuff around the house and everything.
Yeah,
Had an episode today with my youngest grandson was somehow fell out of his mother's arms, and hit the ground, so had to go to the hospital. And
little fella, okay? Oh,
yeah,
yeah,
just a little shooken up, it seems.
yeah,
Nothing major, but it was a little scary.
yeah. I get it. So,
Yeah, so so we got a lot of news to talk about this week. A lot of stuff happening.
yeah.
Yeah, uh, starting off with something that's a little near and dear to my heart, which is always the way it is. It's not no, I'm kidding. It's not.
It's always the Anunnaki, Jim. What are you talking about?
No,
And it
it's not.
always goes back there, bro.
It's not. Let's see what do we got here. No, no. Oh, wait. Where do I had something I wanted here. Where's it at? No, 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 no. Man, I can't figure this layout out. I guess it's this one, but I wanted these to be bigger. Us to be bigger. I guess I can't do that. Well, see, oh, here we go.
What is
So,
this, Jim? What are you showing me, Jim?
well, all right. So we'll get into it. Just it's very interesting.
Last July, as she drove home, her boyfriend on speaker, a nearby Ring camera recording.
Oh
Caitlin
shit!
Weaver was killed by a Jeep barreling through a residential neighborhood. The speed limit 45. The driver, investigators say, was doing more than 90.
She didn't even see him coming. That's how fast he was going.
Jesus.
She was effectively killed instantly.
Michelle
She
and
did all
John
that damage
Weaver
to that car.
removed their daughter from life support.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why my phone always rings as soon as I start streaming. It's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, it's somebody who hates you. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They're coming for you, Jim.
Yeah, well, see, the story here, the way this story is that this person that did this was, go figure, an illegal alien.
No shit.
No shit.
I don't believe a word of it.
Yes. And it was a teenage illegal alien. And And the illegal alien who was driving without a license at 90 miles an hour when he crashed into a woman and killed her was given community service and probation.
Holy crap, man. Holy crap. Like,
I
that's
mean,
insane.
it's insane, right?
Yeah, that's wild. But they always get away with it. I had a buddy who used to he had a Mitsubishi Eclipse Spider. It's a really expensive car, and he was pulling out of work, and an illegal alien T-boned him, broke like his leg, his arm, totaled his car, and they never even found the dude. Like they never well, they didn't find him, they did nothing to him. Nothing at all. He had no license, no insurance, no nothing.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, we have
A driver going twice the speed limit in a residential area kills a young woman in Aurora. That driver is unlicensed, uninsured, and undocumented.
On top of that, the victim's parents say he is also unaccountable. The Arapahoe County District Attorney's Office offered him probation, community service, as punishment for taking a life.
Tonight, in a story you'll see only on CBS Colorado, your reporter Sean Boyd talks to that young woman.
Well, I just want to say hello to all the people who just got raided over from Good Logic's channel. This is by far the biggest attendance I've ever had on a stream, and I hope I don't screw it up.
You should be fine, man. I'm here with you. You don't have to worry about
So
it. I've got you.
And if while you guys are here, if you could just hit that like and subscribe button, that would be awesome.
Yeah, that'd be great.
So we're talking about this story. It's a woman who was driving home, and she was hit by an illegal alien with no license and no insurance, and she unfortunately tragically died. And prosecutors gave the kid probation and community service.
Jesus, man, that's insane.
Mm-hmm. So Arapahoe District Attorney's Office is defending its decision to give probation and community service to a teenager who was driving illegally and in the country illegally when he killed a woman. The accident happened last July in Aurora. The victim, Caitlin Weaver, who was heading home from work when a Jeep barreling through a residential neighborhood slammed into her car, doing more than 90 in a 45-mile-an-hour zone. Yeah, he was 15, Evergreen. And as you can see here, the diagram shows just kind of barreled right into the car. And talking to the guy, the husband, he said his wife, Michelle, her father, he and his wife, Michelle, removed their daughter from life support 2 days later. How do you feel that kind of loss, which is horrible to think. Weaver said his daughter was a board caregiver and volunteered for a suicide hotline before taking a job at a drug rehab center in Aurora. She was really trying to make a difference in their lives every day. She was 24 years old. The suspect was 15 years old and had other kids in the car with him. He was charged with vehicular homicide, and due to his age, state law shields him from being publicly identified in the court records. This is the woman who tragically passed away. She's very attractive.
Yeah, she was cute.
Mm-hmm. The DA's office said there would be no plea deal in the case, so they were not going to offer any concessions. That changed when the Arapahoe County District Attorney's Office changed hands a few months ago.
Jesus, man.
Under the new district attorney, Amy Padden, Weaver says the teen was offered 2 years probation if he pleaded guilty. Why the change? If he had taken a firearm and recklessly just shot and killed someone, this would be a different case. They would be pushing something completely different. Weaver said this is no deterrence. There's also no financial liability. Despite his doctor's medical bills, which came to nearly $1 million, the Jeep was uninsured, and the juvenile's mom says he took it without permission, so she isn't responsible either. Now I'm wondering.
Wait a minute.
If
that's
he's
not how
illegal,
that works.
You would think someone would still if your kid is driving your car and he's a minor, and you would think there would be sued.
Yeah.
But now if the mother, it's obviously an illegal too, right? Because
yes, if he's illegal, she's illegal. There's no way that
there's no way a kid is illegal, and the mother is, you know what I mean? It just doesn't work. Once again, I want to thank everybody that came over from Joe's stream. This is by far my largest attended show ever. I'm trying not to screw it up. Please remember to hit that like and
What
subscribe
are you talking
button.
about? Don't worry about it. These are good people. They all come from Joe's stream, man. I wouldn't worry about them.
Hello from Joe's stream. So yeah, so this is a horrible story, and that's the father. She's an organ donor. Caitlin Weaver continues to live on, and others, while the person who killed her lives free. Investigators say his mom initially planned to send him back to Colombia. Weaver says he has now filed for asylum. Well, when did the kid get her? Because you have only, I think, a year to file for asylum. I don't think they can just. I don't think they can just do that.
Yeah, I don't know about that for real. I'm not a major expert when it comes to asylum and all these foreigners and immigrants and what have you and whatnots. I just listen to what Jim tells me, and then I follow with that. So if you're wrong, then I'm wrong, buddy.
Yeah. So Arapahoe County District Attorney Ryan Bracken says an experienced prosecutor handled the plea deal without any direct involvement, but a new administration. A judge, he notes, upheld the deal after hearing from the family. He says before any plea deal, prosecutors consider the impact on the victims and the community, the characteristics of the defendant, such as age, culpability, the level of remorse, and the goals of sentencing, including deterrence, rehabilitation of the defender, treating similarly situated offenders equitably, and holding each offender accountable. So, so yeah, there's that. And Rackley, let's see, close this out. Rackley says in this case, negotiated sentence acknowledged the seriousness of this preventable tragedy. So yeah, probation and community service, that's generally just screams seriousness.
Yeah, it definitely tells me, that they're really trying to throw the book at him and hold him accountable if it's probation, right? They're really trying to hold his feet to the fire for murdering a woman by giving him 2 years probation. It's wild to me. But hey, maybe the next time I get pulled over, if I have something illegal on me, they'll say, you know what, man? Yeah, sure, you have some illegal substance. We're not going to give you 20 years in prison for having it. What we'll do is we'll just give you probation, man. I press X the doubt on that one though, because
Thank you, John Mosley.
I don't think I'm the right shade or
Greatly
was born in the
appreciated
proper country.
Yes. Where's the video? Well, you want to watch the video of it and hear more about the video? I guess we could go back to this one and see the
Let's
video.
do it, man.
Report 2 days later.
How do you fathom that loss?
She was 24. The suspect, who had kids in the car with him, was 15. He was not only driving illegally, he was in the country illegally.
DA's office said that this would be a no plea deal case, so they were not going to offer any concessions.
That changed, he says, when the Arapahoe County District Attorney's Office changed hands a few months later. Under DA Amy Padden,
we have special super secret top exclusive guest here, Joe.
Yo!
Oh, good logic. Logic. I'm saying it like he does, right? Good logic.
Good logic.
He says it with the accent.
Good logic. It's funny. Everyone thinks it's a New York accent, but New York.
It's not.
Yeah, New Yorkers say logic. We don't say logic.
Yeah.
But I just use that because I'm an attorney. So yeah. But
you lean into it then. It does sound like an accent, but it didn't sound like a New York accent. I'm not. Yeah. I'm Southern, so my accent, I'm not an expert in anything but y'all's and hey hun, that sort of stuff.
I thought you were Australian when I first heard
you. Well, Alabama is pretty close to Australia.
This is very true. Yeah.
It's like this on a map. Like on a map, it's like this.
Well, Australia doesn't exist. It's a figment of everyone's imagination, right?
This is true. So
it can be anywhere, and it can be anywhere and everywhere.
It's
all at
right
once.
Next to Middle Earth on a map. It's like Mount Mordor is right
there. So this was a case we were talking about real quick, Joe. This was a teenage illegal alien who was driving without a license at over 90 miles an hour, crashed into a woman and killed her in Aurora, Colorado, was given community service and probation.
Oh, of course. There you go.
Yeah.
That's justice right there. That's justice.
Yeah, man.
And and his mother says, that she's not responsible for covering any medical expenses or anything
No,
because
nobody's got to be held responsible, right? That poor innocent kid stole his mother's car while being an illegal alien, murdered this other young woman who was what they say, she was on the phone with her husband or something like that.
yeah, she was on the phone with her husband and
On the phone with her husband. I mean, completely, it just plowed right into her, destroyed her and her car. And hey, it's cool, man. You just got to go do what? Visit your parole officer or your probation officer once a month. Joe, do you think they put him on like a color code system or something where he has to at least go do a P test or something?
No. I don't know. Who knows? I'm not a criminal defense attorney, so I don't know. I don't know how it works, but it's astonishing how brazen they are as far as we will never go after the illegal aliens. Like they're a new protected class. It's like first it was gay and then trans, and now the new protected class is illegal aliens. It's pathetic. That's really pathetic.
Yeah. Yeah, you've got to hold people accountable for things like this. I mean, you didn't just destroy her life, you destroyed everyone around her's life to an extent. And now, everyone's lost someone, and it's one of those things where time may heal wounds, but you're always going to think about it. And this young man did this, and he just gets off scot-free, and it astounds me and blows my mind that there's no consequences or repercussions.
It's horrible. It's really, really horrible.
Yeah.
I don't like covering stories like this because I genuinely get depressed. I'm like,
well, it's a part of life, but it's also something, in our current climate, man, where somebody's got to do something, right? And I think the biggest thing I can do is come on a stream like this and speak my mind about it, and hopefully somebody hears it one day and does something.
Hopefully Dexter hears it and does something.
He's going by the cellophane and stuff right now. Don't worry about it.
I didn't say Dexter who. I didn't say Dexter. I just said Dexter. It could be anyone named
Come
Dexter.
on, Jim. Don't you?
Thank you very much, Julio.
Oh yeah, thanks, Julio. Way to go, brother.
But yeah, Dexter. I didn't like the new series of Dexter, but so there's
that's the
story.
I didn't watch the new one. I wasn't going to.
It's basically just a horrible case of so and also the mother must be illegal too, because we were talking about that, like the mother said something about sending them back to Colombia, but she's but now they're going to file for asylum protection or something.
Of course, because everyone in America wants them dead. So every American wants them dead. They need asylum from America, not to come to America for asylum. They're gonna need asylum from like actual patriots. This is awful.
So, and the next story about is 6 illegal migrants charged in South Carolina mother's murder defy decency in a civilized society, the sheriff says.
My God, I come here for all the yucks and giggles.
Yeah, we'll get there. We'll get there. This is all the news that was too dark for your show, Joe.
It is. It's like, oh my God, this is like the depressing version of Good Logic.
This is the stuff that's like, oh, that's too dark.
Next thing you're gonna tell me about people with prostate cancer.
Well, you know what?
Sorry. Too soon.
No, he's had it for a long time, though. That's the problem with that.
Yeah, that's true. That's old news. Old news.
Stream the best Fox Nation original.
What's this? Commercial?
This is why I hate Fox. They're a podcaster's nightmare, and I sometimes wonder if they do it specifically to mess with you, folks like you and me. Where it's like basically, it's like we're just gonna start throwing ads up there and things. You're like, I don't even know. All of a sudden, I got Yellowstone going. I don't know what's happening.
It's Fox, man. You know how these companies are, bro. They've got to squeeze you for every dime that they can. It's insanity.
I'll just read it because it's easier. Authorities in Lancaster, South Carolina have charged 6 illegal immigrants between the ages of 13 and 21. So they're starting out young, in connection with a random May 2nd murder of a mother who was driving to meet friends in Rock Hill. Lancaster Sheriff's Office deputies located Larisha Cheryl Thomas, 40, deceased with a gunshot wound behind the wheel of her vehicle on a Riverside Road in Lancaster, which is located about an hour south of Charlotte, North Carolina. On May 12th, authorities announced the arrest of 3 adults, including, I don't know, Azelia Armandez Torres Chalinos, 21, Jarby Adon Ramos Adalia, 18, Jason Sabayed Pineda Solgado, 17, and 3 juveniles aged 13, 14, and 15 in connection with Thompson's death and a separate burglary that occurred on April 30th. The shooting defies any sense of decency in a civilized society, Lancaster Sheriff Barry Fell said in a Monday statement. Mrs. Thompson was going about her business on Friday night, not bothering anyone. All of a sudden, 6 men and boys out to get something for nothing from someone they did not know and had no business bothering, pulled alongside her car, and Torres Chirinos opened fire, killing Miss Thompson. There's no place in our society for acts like this for the people who commit them. My hope is that these 6 are never again among us. So, I wonder if these are, Teren de Aragua or MS-13 members.
You know what they say, Jim, find what you love and you never work a day in your life. And that's what these guys did. They did it early, man. And you're just being very jealous of them and their career opportunities. All right.
And it was a lovely 40-year-old black woman that was murdered. So,
Awful. It's like, just why?
They just don't care, man. They just don't care. And I don't know if it's like, if it's the youth nowadays or what it is, because I see a lot of apathy in younger people. And then you add in like the gang ties and stuff like that. And it's just a recipe for insanity.
Did you hear about that guy who died bombing a fertility clinic?
Oh,
wait,
yes,
what?
Yes. Yeah,
I've been AFK. So
yeah, he was he was pro-abortion.
He's a moralist.
And he didn't think that it was right that people were born without consent.
Right.
Or something. And so
you're all going to die. Everyone's going to die sooner or later anyway, so it's okay to expedite that death.
Yeah, he did not give consent to be born, so he was mad.
Yeah. It's like it just screams someone who is basically like tortured as a child. But I think it's 25, this guy, this kid. But what you were talking about the youth today. So I'm saying here's a young man who basically was blowing up a fertility clinic in Palm Springs, California. I can share a link with you if you want from Andy. Where he has a manifest. He wrote a manifesto where he refers to himself as being pro-mortalist. So he said, understand your death is already guaranteed, and you could thank your parents for that one. All a pro-mortalist is saying is let's make it happen sooner rather than later, and preferably peaceful rather than some disease or accident to prevent your future suffering. And more importantly, the suffering your existence will cause to all other sentient beings. It's just a demented monster.
This is it, right? This is Evilism? Evilism? You're going to burn in hell for this. No, I know, not a question, but I wanted to say your God definitely doesn't exist, but if he did, I'd choose Satan over your evil God. What the hell? Well, that's terrible.
Psychopath.
It is psychopathic.
Yeah.
This
is not a problem that we dealt with when I was a youngin.
Yeah, no. Our biggest problem was like, did you steal something from Walmart on the way out, right?
Yeah.
That was the biggest thing that I ever remember happening around my neighborhood was like, oh God, did you hear little Billy was stealing DVDs from the electronics section?
Such a messed up home, broken home. It's like they would whisper it. Broken home.
The father left, right? He's been gone for a couple months. He's just acting out. I can't believe that they would do this. Is insanity to me. This is wild.
We have another guest.
Look at that. Got a party going on here.
Oh, look. Wait,
Dave from BTM Reviews.
Dave
had to come crash the party, huh?
Well, I redirected my whole stream over here, so I hope I didn't crash it too hard, Jim.
You're fine.
Nice.
So, Brian,
Good
this
to meet
is,
you, Joe.
You too, my friend.
Yeah.
this is by far the largest audience I've ever had.
You
You're
can,
doing
if you be
awesome.
really quiet, you can hear his knees shaking. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Act like you've been here before, Jim.
We gotta
It's okay.
get Jim over 1,000. Please hit this up. We can get, if everyone here subs up, we'll get him way. We'll just crash past that 1,000 threshold.
Yeah, it'd be
We're
great.
almost to 900, so we're getting there.
Good job,
Sweet.
guys.
Sweet.
Like, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. And if you want to, you can dislike the stream. You know, anything
Hit
helps the
some
algorithm.
button. Hit
Now-
some button.
I hope Jim has told you, Joe, that he's been a part of my show for a long time. So
No.
All right, we're gonna
feel free, chat. If you don't know who I am, somebody put my link in the chat and sub to me too.
Are you not? Are you not a mod? I'll do it. Jeez.
Dave's a mod on my chat.
I gotta do everything.
I don't think so, dude.
I gotta do
Oh, you
everything
are.
for these boomers.
You are. But anyway, this is some video of that
Explosion was so crazy. It blew out the glass of this liquor store. Look at this liquor store. Oh my god.
Was there any pappies in there?
All from
Son
this
of a
explosion.
bitch.
Poor guy. Damn. This liquor store got from the explosion. Look at this, dude. Damn, crazy explosion. Glass and everything everywhere.
I call this a win for society.
Yeah.
Explosion was so crazy.
It cost us, you know, a fertility clinic, but at least we got rid of this guy.
Yeah. But luckily, thank you, Goody Two Shoes. Fat Cynic and Evil Dave are the worst representation on Jim there could be. Well,
Yeah, that's
I'm
right.
not going
That
to
makes
argue
sense.
with that point.
It makes sense. Yeah, he's right. No. Fat.
Crazy.
Me being
Blew
fat
out
and
the
Dave being
glass
evil
of the-
works. Here's a channel that Dave's on pretty regularly. Y'all can go sub to that if you would like to see him. It would be very, very nice of you.
What's it called?
The Ruby King's Kingdom.
The Ruby. Oh, that's very ignorant.
What Dave wanted me to put a channel in there that he was. Oh, you mean BTM? My bad. Hold on. Let me go grab that.
Well, here's a story. I got a story that Joe could really get into here because this is stuff that I really have some questions on that he could answer. All right. Federal judge rules against student who wore a "Let's Go Brandon" shirt.
Oh, really?
Yes. Basically, well, I don't know. It says, we previously discussed how schools were making students remove sweatshirts. We didn't, but they did in this article. So I know it kind of sounds like we did, but me and Jonathan Turley never sat down and talked about it.
Okay.
That
bastard.
That
pompous bastard.
I have argued that the shirt should be treated as protected speech. Yes, I argue that all the time. Nobody listens.
Yes.
However, United States District Court Judge Christopher Boyko just delivered another blow to free speech, rejecting a claim for such protection, at least as the basis for injunctive relief in Conrad v. Madison Local School District Board of Education. In a prior Michigan case with the sweaters shown below, Judge Paul Maloney ruled that "Let's Go Brandon" t-shirt could be the basis for punishment. A school could certainly prohibit students from wearing a shirt displaying the phrase "Fuck Joe Biden." Plaintiffs concede this conclusion. Plaintiff must make this concession, as the Supreme Court said as much in Frazier. Newton, the First Amendment gives a high school student in the classroom right to wear Tinker's armband, but not Cohen's jacket, which read "Fuck the draft." I thought there was a case that someone in the courtroom was able to wear a shirt that said "Fuck the draft."
I'm not sure. I'm not sure, but they seem to be accepting. The Tinker decision is a famous free speech decision, which I think starts giving schools rights to limit free speech.
Thank you, Barb.
Where schools have schools do have a broader right than perhaps you would have inside a police station, let's say, or something like that. Because there's an expectation that they should be able to control their students from becoming unruly. So I think that was the Tinker decision. But Go for it. The relevant 4-letter word is a swear. I personally never agreed with. I don't. I think. All right, whatever. My opinions on this don't really amount to.
I thought obscenity was obscenity. I thought obscenity was protected. Yeah, but I mean not like it's like pornography. They say you know it when you see it, but it's still protected as long as there's some kind of art to it. And
yeah, I've watched a BTM review show before.
Schools operate differently from your local post office, even though they're both under the control of, let's say, the government. It's the because of the need to control.
I'll put your link in there, Dave.
Because of the need to maintain control, that the Supreme Court has given broader latitude to effectuate regulations which you and I might deem a violation of free speech. But it's once the Supreme Court says it's okay, that is the way it goes. So now you're translating this "Let's Go Brandon" as F Joe Biden and saying that now becomes, it's as if you're wearing a shirt which says F Joe Biden, and that's kind of another step removed, which is where I think Turley is going with this.
Yeah, but I mean, it's not, the shirt didn't say F Joe Biden, it said "Let's Go Brandon."
Right, that's the point that Turley is making.
Yeah. So I mean, that's got to be core protected political speech, I would think. Wow, Charles, gifted 10 subs.
Charles is
Whoa.
awesome. Charles is
way to go, Charles. Appreciate it, brother. Look at Julio.
Oh, now we got a war here. Now Julio gifted 5 subs.
Nice.
I'm going to start talking. Why am I talking like PPP?
I have no clue. I really wish you would stop.
Okay, I'll stop doing that.
Yeah, you're having.
And Charles did become a member, and I didn't even get to thank him for becoming a member and on his way to seeing The Matrix. I'm going to come up with something better. It's a work in progress, so just
You got this. You got this.
You got it, Jim.
Hey, Joe, can I ask a question? Why does the judge get to interpret something the way he wants to? Like, it's just a shirt with some letters on it. Like, he's just interpreting letters into something he thinks it means. It's let's go.
If you scroll back up, right? So what he's saying is he's asking for injunctive relief, right? So what that means is that you're asking for what's considered an extraordinary remedy. Mm-hmm. In order to get injunctive relief, you have to show likelihood of success. You need to establish that you're suffering from a harm that's irreparable, which a violation of free speech would be considered irreparable harm. And you also need to show that the balancing of equities favors you, which means that if we deny you relief, are you more harmed than he's harmed if we grant you relief? And you could have an issue with balancing equities falling out. Usually balancing equities will favor the status quo, meaning let's leave things as they are. And as they are is there's no that they are banning it. So balancing equities will tend to favor the school in these cases because the school rule says this. So you would need to show balancing of equities. So this doesn't mean they lost the case. It simply means that they couldn't meet all of the elements to get injunctive relief. Ultimately, they could prevail on the case. But I do think that this potentially, the loss in the TRO is potentially an appealable issue that they can say, hey, look, it's not really hard. There's no risk to the school if they're compelled to allow him to wear this shirt. And I think you can make a pretty strong argument that there's really much less harm to the school than there is potentially to the student. So, but that's why you wouldn't get the injunctive relief. And I think the point that he's making is I don't think you're going to win. I think you lose on 2 out of 3 of these is where the court is going on this. He's like, I don't think you're going to win because the school would properly be able to ban F. Joe Biden based on Supreme Court precedent. Yeah. And I can read this as F. Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Even though the word doesn't say that.
But can you read it that way? Let's go Brandon equals F. Joe Biden?
Well,
I mean,
for 20
minutes
it did, like during a campaign. But
in the meta of F. Joe Biden, it got turned into Let's Go Brandon because of the news reporter at that NASCAR race.
Right, so, there was a NASCAR race. People were chanting, fuck Joe Biden.
Yeah, they were saying fuck Joe Biden. And the lady said, oh, look, everybody's congratulating you by saying Let's Go Brandon. And so in the meta,
I don't care about the meta. The meta's stupid.
But you can still interpret it that way. Is the point?
I do have
It's
an
not
emergency.
it's not that you can interpret it. It's,
Yeah.
let's face reality. That's why
It
he's
was.
wearing it. That's why he's
Yeah.
wearing the shirt.
Exactly.
Right. He's wearing it
Yeah.
to say "fuck Joe Biden." With
Yeah,
that's what he doesn't
exactly.
wanna say.
That's
Yeah.
the point of it being the meta of the meme now, right? Like that's what it
Yeah.
means. Like when
I
you
do have
when
a-
you
We
I
do have an
guess.
emergency that I have to announce real quick though, because
Okay.
it seems I have 9/11. It's 9/11. 9/11.
Right.
So
That's
everyone,
fucking the tower's gonna crash anytime
But-
soon. Jesus Christ.
But here it goes though, Dave. If we were on your stream and we were watching something about Joe, and I said, yeah, let's go, Brandon, everybody would laugh because they know that I'm saying fuck Joe Biden. So yeah, it makes
I don't
sense.
think they would laugh because it's not that funny. But otherwise, I
Not
get the
now.
point.
Well, I mean, you're all boomers on here, so
Yeah.
I wouldn't laugh, but y'all would.
Yeah.
goody two shoes for $5
Hey,
saying
We just
good
cracked
logic.
up a moment ago.
And slumming it with Fat Jim, Fat Cynic, and Evil Dave. Well, technically, I'm not fat. I'm just slightly overweight.
I'm Jack, son.
Yeah. And Joe and me go way back. We're old friends. He's my rabbi.
There you go. Yeah, you have been watching me for a long time. When did you start following my channel?
Oh, it's been years. It's been several years now.
Yeah.
At least 3 years.
Yeah. Which is pretty much the earliest.
Were
at
you?
least-
I've been
They
watching
started
since
even 3 years ago.
Rittenhouse.
You were on with Rittenhouse and Nick, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Yeah,
that's
that's
when I
right.
started
That's right.
watching.
That's when I got introduced to you.
And then Charles came in with another 10 subs.
Charles
Thank
is
you,
awesome.
Charles.
Charles is awesome. Half time he'll like hit me at the very end of his stream, and like I'll like hit like end the stream, and then I'll see it pop up. Charles hits 10, and I think he does it because he's not just generous, but he's like, all right, stop lapping my nuts. Just take the subs, which is actually way cool. So
Actually, it's not subs, it's memberships.
right.
Ooh.
I was going to say, quit saying subs, dude.
You're right.
I mean,
That's all right. I'm sorry. Those were memberships for inducting people into seeing the Matrix.
Yeah.
So if schools can prohibit a student from wearing apparel that contains profanity, schools can also prohibit students from wearing apparel that can reasonably be interpreted as profane. Removing a few letters from a profane word or replacing letters with symbols would not render the message acceptable in a school setting. So yeah, you're right, Joe. That's what they're going with. Somebody went to Hoover Dam and all they got was this damn shirt. I don't know what that really.
I mean, they were
And then-
able to, when I was a kid, they were able to tell us like how baggy our pants could be. I mean, how short like our shorts could be, all kinds of different things. So yeah, they reasonably should be able to tell you what sort of language you can have on a shirt. I wasn't allowed to wear a Metallica shirt because it had a flaming skull on it one time. So
And Julio Scissors with another 5 Jim Tells You memberships. Thank you, Julio.
Nice.
Yeah. So yeah, this one says a student was wearing a hat that said "Fet's Luck" and asking a student to change out of a hoodie displaying the words "Uranus Liquor." That's actually cool. I want a sweatshirt that says Uranus Liquor.
It took me a second. All right.
So yeah, this basically says the court ruled while this case presents serious questions of student free speech versus the school's interest in protecting students from vulgar and profane speech, the court finds the plaintiff has not met the high burden to show a substantial likelihood of success on the merits by clear and convincing evidence. While the DA case was on summary judgment and presented facts that are different from those before this court, defendant's burden on summary judgment was a preponderance standard, which is lesser burden than plaintiffs here. Moreover, that case presented fact issues going to the reasonableness of the school's interpretation. Here, as defendants point out, plaintiff acknowledges in his verified complaint that "Let's Go Brandon" is a euphemism for "fuck Joe Biden." Well, that was dumb.
yeah, I would have never said anything.
Yeah, I would have said no. It's just I'm cheering for Brandon. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I mean, I would
something
have,
Brandon.
I would have obfuscated from the truth and lied, and I'm not. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been like, yeah, that's my buddy. I've got a buddy named Brandon. What are you talking?
Yeah.
And he's good at X, Y, Z. I definitely would, in a court of law, been like, oh yeah, I meant to. That's just dumb.
Yeah. How does it change if the shorty says 8657? Maybe it means if the shirt says 8657. I don't know. Would it make a difference if someone wrote 86? Like if someone had a shirt that said 8647, do you think they would get kicked out of school?
Yes. Well,
I
it
think it would
depends.
depend on the school.
Yeah, I was about to say it'll depend on the school, but yeah, probably.
Yeah, in the Northeast here, they make you valedictorian, but
I mean, down here in the South, you know, we do a lot of moral fagging, so you would definitely get in trouble.
Yeah, this
What
is
is that?
basically.
What does that even mean? I don't know. I've never heard those two words put together.
Oh, to be a moral fag, it just means for you to basically bitch and moan about morality that isn't really affecting anyone.
Oh, okay. You're saying like all those people who complain about the Washington Redskins.
Yes, that's definitely a major case of moral fagging. Yes.
Okay. All right. Yeah.
So we'll go back to a feel-good story. We have Tren de Aragua's Little Devil's poster child busted after allegedly attacking a disabled teen.
Nice. Wait, hold on. Trendale, Little Devil's poster child busted. I'm gonna have to hear the story first. I don't like disabled.
Oh wait, no. Oh no. Okay, that's not, I thought it was going to play something, but it's not. So get out of here. What the hell? What is going on?
Yeah, you see, this is Fox, right? You also
I don't know what they're doing.
You're getting videos for Cinco de Mexico. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, that was a mass tragedy event there.
Thanks, Julio.
So anyway, the poster child for Tren de Aragua's Babyface Gang farm system. They actually have a Babyface Gang farm system?
I don't know, but I wonder if you can
need one
bet
of
on
those.
it.
I need one of
I
those.
wonder if it's like the NFL draft, if you could take bets on like who's going to get picked up by the gang, or who's going to be, falling back to the minor leagues for another season or what have you.
Says he was busted yet again Wednesday. This time for allegedly robbing a 16-year-old autistic boy on Staten Island. I mean, now I'm starting to question because when they start saying everyone is autistic, I think is like a crutch. Like, aren't we all autistic a little bit?
Yeah, we are.
I mean, we're on the internet. I mean, if we weren't autistic a little bit, we wouldn't be on the friggin' internet.
Yeah, we wouldn't be live streaming to people reading Fox News.
Yeah. So the pint-sized Venezuelan vandal, this is awesome, who has at least a dozen busts on his rap sheet despite being just 15, is believed to be part of the Little Devil's crew of young migrant gangbangers terrorizing the Big Apple. Their notorious punk is now charged with second-degree robbery after cops nabbed him May 5th attack on Staten Island. What the hell kind of gun is that?
Shit. Is that
a moral fag gun?
Nah.
I don't know.
No, it looks like a
little
or something, or
I can't tell.
Yeah.
I should know, like being from the South, I should know all guns. Just like I should know all cars by their headlights, but I don't. I'm on the internet too much.
So it says, it makes me sick. These kids are still here. The autistic victim's mother said Wednesday. Should have just said the autistic child's mother. The autistic victim's mother. So it sounds like maybe she's the autistic and she's the victim's mother. I don't know. They should have been deported long time ago. I had to keep my son home for a week because he was so scared. He's terrified. He's not even safe from this gang. If they'd been deported, my son would not have been jumped. The tiny terror and his crew are members of Diablos de las 42, or Devils of 42nd Street, an underage offshoot of TDA, the violent Venezuelan gang that has been establishing a foothold in tax-funded Big Apple shelters. See now, and also the TDA stuff, that if they're over 14, they can get deported under the Alien Enemies Act, if they would let that go through. That is, right? That was one of the stipulations. Over 14.
I think so. Joe should know. He's the expert.
What? Huh? What?
What?
Wait a minute.
Oh my
Joe's
God!
doing my-
Wait a minute. Why are you
Joe,
stealing Jim's bit?
That's Jim's bit.
That's what I
Joe.
do all
What
the
hell?
time. I go, what?
I recall it was. I don't remember if it was 16 or 14, but it was definitely an age that was.
You
put in
know,
there.
short of murder, there's no mechanism to hold juvenile offenders accountable. One law enforcement source griped. These
Yeah, there
individuals
is.
responsible for these crimes, some against the most vulnerable individuals, the disabled, the source said, they're responsible for victimizing dozens in this revolving door. Look at the hairdo on this one.
Nice. Yeah, I want to grow my hair out like that, but I'm too Caucasian. It's not fair.
So, and then this 189 arrested in immigration crackdown under Make DC Safe and Beautiful initiative.
Yeah, that makes sense.
U.S. Attorney Ed Martin, he's not the U.S. Attorney anymore. It's now Janine Pirro. So this needs to be updated. Joint other law enforcement announced today as a result of joint federal law enforcement initiative. Authorities arrested 189 individuals following a joint federal immigration-related enforcement operation in the District of Columbia over the past week. As part of the operation, authorities apprehended 189 illegal aliens during an enhanced targeted immigration enforcement operation. Thanks to President Trump's leadership and administration's focus on law and order, these arrests represent a major step forward in making Washington, D.C. safer for legal citizens and their families. These arrests make clear that violating our nation's immigration laws will not be ignored. Well, that's good. Okay, now this is getting a little this is getting a little out there. You know, this is a post by the real Robert on Twitter, and it's backed. I have some backing to this, so it's not just throwing this out there, but here it is. One of the most shocking testimonies in United States history. That this guy states without reservation that United States federal governor Joe Biden and Kamala Harris is the world's largest child sex trafficking organization in modern history. The probability that thousands of these children are being raped at this it's the fact that we have to say raped just is terrible too, that we have to do that.
Right.
But at this moment is 100%. This guy served as a border patrol for 24 years until retired as deputy patrol agent in charge of the San Diego sector, 5 presidential administrations. Blah, blah, blah. Border Patrol went from working supported to the best president to the worst president. The United States will have spent hundreds of billions of dollars in 4 years to fund the needs of over 50 million illegal aliens that populate our nation. I actually think there's more than 50 million. Because I remember back in like 2002, 2003, when they were trying to trick Bush into doing another amnesty, they were telling them there was 12 million.
Yeah,
well, that was 20 years ago, and we know millions a year come in.
Yeah, but you expect the government to tell you the truth, bro?
Oh, no, they lie.
Yeah, of course. So, just take it and double it, triple it, quadruple it. We all know it's true.
There is this guy's testimony, which I guess it would be better to just listen to the guy.
It's around 50 million in Julio's apartment complex alone.
Well, you do live in Virginia, so I can see that happening.
I state without reservation that the United States federal government is the world's largest child sex trafficking organization in modern history. The probability that thousands of these UACs are being raped at this very moment is 100%. Chairman Higgins, Ranking Member Correa, Chairman Bishop, Ranking Member Ivey, and the members of the subcommittee, I appreciate the opportunity to speak about the evil of child trafficking caused by the open border policies under President Joe Biden and his administration. I served in the United States Border Patrol for 24 years until I retired as a deputy patrol agent in charge in San Diego sector. I worked under 5 presidential administrations, and only one president secured the border, President Donald Trump. Border Patrol agents went from working to being supported by the greatest border president in American history to the worst, President Joe Biden. My last year in the Border Patrol was Joe Biden's first year in office. On his first day in office, I watched in disbelief as 94 executive orders cascaded down from Washington, D.C., obliterating every immigration policy that has been provided the most secure border in America's history. Border Patrol agents were forced to carry out unconstitutional orders that violated every law in the Immigration Nationality Act.
So this Border Patrol agent basically saying that they were trafficking kids.
No. Yeah, I mean, but we knew that. What was it in the middle of the election? They were getting caught flying kids all over the country, random places, doing all this shit. Like, yeah, man, that you can't get away with the numbers that they say are going on in the world or in this country without having some sort of government involvement. I'm sorry, you're not going to get me to believe that, right? There has to be somebody somewhere.
But I thought that illegal aliens are more peaceful than Americans. That's what everyone tells me. Isn't that true?
Yeah, no. I've never seen a couple illegal aliens fighting on a roof when they were replacing it because somebody said the wrong thing up there. Not one time ever.
Here's the thing that I don't understand about that, the way they track these numbers is that the vast majority of large police departments in Democrat-controlled cities are barred from asking immigration status when they arrest people or come into contact with them.
Why?
So
Why?
Well, they're just barred because they're barred from doing it. That's in their rules. They
don't
can't
want
do
to
it.
track. They don't want to track the stats.
Yeah,
Right.
so then they can't track the stats. So then there's no way you could know exactly how many illegals are committing crimes because nobody knows immigration status on the criminals.
Unbelievable. It's such a scam. It's such a scam.
It is, and that's the problem. Like it's like you think New York, Chicago, L.A. I think
Chicago.
They don't ask immigration status at all. It's
Dallas,
not on there.
Houston,
And if you look into it, like the vast majority of the time when they arrest these Hispanic men from Central America and South America, they'll put down white.
Yeah, that
On the
white
forms.
non-Hispanic thing on forms really.
Yeah, and it's a
really
numbers
bothers
to make
me.
the
I'm like,
numbers look really bad. I mean, is what it is. But here's another one on that same topic. An HHS whistleblower says she raised concerns about sending so many illegal migrant children to the same address.
They stopped the transportation of children. They stopped the money. Tara Rodas witnessed her colleagues at HHS tell her that it didn't matter that children were sent to addresses flagged for sexual abuse.
When I brought that we were going to be sending another child to the same address, I was told, Tara, we only get sued if we keep kids in care too long. We don't get sued by traffickers.
A whistleblower with access.
I mean, what do you think about that? They don't get sued by traffickers?
Yeah, because the traffickers are too busy doing other nefarious things in the middle of the fucking desert to underage kids and whoever else they feel like doing it.
We need to start throwing people in jail. That's what we need to start doing. We need to start throwing people in jail. This is ridiculous.
I don't disagree with you.
We need to start throwing the people who are making these decisions in jail.
Throw them under the jail, actually, is the best way to do it.
Unbelievable.
But I mean, that's what Elon said too about that the people who complain the most are the scammers when you're doing stuff with money. Like that's what he found out from PayPal is the people that'll complain about stuff, and it's the scammers, and it's and the way that they were doing the stuff with the government with the money was that they didn't want complaints. So they would just send money out to any, they didn't want anybody to complain that they didn't get the money, so they were just sending it out with no questions asked.
I got to tell you, Jim, when I found out, my mom used to work at Lowe's, right? She said, if you call with the problem, they'll give you all kinds of money so you don't give a negative review on their website. So the only reason I knew it was a thing because I got a delivery from Lowe's and it wasn't the best delivery. My mom said, just call the store. They're like, oh yeah, we'll give you half off the fridge and we'll refund your delivery fee. I'm like, wow. I mean, okay. So I got the fridge for half price and no delivery fee. Just because I had a complaint about basically like I think they dinged the wall or something, Jim. I was renting the house at the time. It wasn't that big a deal, but my mom said just complain.
I don't know if traffickers are going and writing Google reviews. They might be. I'll pull that up. Let me see.
Traffickers. Traffickers on Yelp.
No, but they're complaining to the government about shit. Like you're blocking our access, dude.
My coyote was really stingy with the water. 2-star review.
Oh, that's really good.
What is playing?
That's what we need to have. That's the people who want to cross the border. How many stars does my coyote get?
RateMyCoyote.com. There we go.
Oh
That's a business idea.
Yes. How did no one think of this yet?
Me and you, good logic. Me and you,
Oh my
Joe. Right
God.
now, we just came up with it. There we go.
Yes, seriously, Jim, you're fired. I need this guy.
Well, okay.
Oh my God.
He's better. He's wittier than I am. But he's a lot lazier. He doesn't show up most of the time.
Yeah, that's probably.
What are you talking about? Oh, that's true.
Yeah, sometimes he'll just leave, and it's like he was never here. And see, he just takes off, and then you never know
Whatever
when he's
happened to
gonna come
that fourth guy who used to be here?
Yeah, it's just
Yeah,
So-
I got lonely and came back, boys. Don't worry about it. I'm here. I'm here for the long haul.
You guys were talking about autism earlier,
Mhm.
and it reminded me of a clip that I had, and it got taken down off of X. I was going to share with my audience, but I was gonna share this with my audience. But you were talking about how everyone's autistic. Can I share something with you real
Sure,
quick here?
definitely.
All right, let me share this with you because this was pretty good. I don't think it's that new, but it's new for me, so that'll work. It was new for me.
Yeah,
on
that's
that.
the best way to do it. That's the way I handle things personally.
Autistic reporter Michael Falk joins us now. He's in.
I can't see you, Brooke. I can only hear you.
Right.
Okay. Hello, Brooke. I finished speaking with Brian Wasserman 26 minutes ago, and I've been standing here since then waiting for you to talk to me. Watch that interview now. Brian Wasserman used to live in a very big mansion. Now he lives in a tiny jail cell. Is living in prison different from living in a 40,000 square foot mansion in Westchester?
Yeah, it's different.
How is it different from living in a 40,000 square foot mansion in Westchester?
Well, it's every second of my day is accounted for. It's just day after day of rigid routine.
Rigid routine. What's the rigid routine?
Well, we get up at exactly 6 a.m.
Yes.
Exactly 6:15 a.m. Everyone is counted.
Counted.
Yeah, we have to line up 7 times a day to be counted.
Line up and be counted.
And then there's the food. I never tasted such terrible food.
How long do you have to stay in the line?
You have to walk the line.
Make that line straight.
Oh, yeah. Well, frankly, I always thought you didn't have to do anything in prison, but we have a work detail, and it's hard. Just yesterday, I spent the entire day stacking crates, just one on top of the other. Just
I like stack.
You do?
Yes, I like stacking crates.
Yeah, well, it's hard work.
Yes, stacking crates.
Yeah, I don't mean to complain, but
One on top of another,
I realize
on top of
what I
another,
did
on top of
was
another, on
wrong.
top of another.
I just want to serve my time, and
That's so
maybe I can
good,
get out of
so
here and get back to my family.
Why do you want to get out of here?
For my family.
Can you stack your family?
What?
I want to be in prison.
No, you
I
don't.
want to be in prison.
No, you don't.
Yes.
You see, it takes its toll on you. Well, you wear the same clothes every day,
Yes.
and you live in this tiny little
Yes.
box. And,
Yes.
And there's hardly.
How do I get to live here? I need to go to prison now.
I don't think you understand.
Now.
You see, this is a scary
dude, he
place.
gets it.
I mean, sure, there are normal guys like me who are in here for
No.
embezzling and fraud, but
That takes too
we
long. I need to go
also
to prison
have
now.
violent
I need to go
offenders.
now.
The guy in the next cell over, he robbed the convenience store and shot the cashier.
Robbed a convenience store.
Yeah,
I shot
so
the cashier. Shot the
you know,
cashier. Okay.
I mean, it's a
Make sure the
scary
cashier's
place.
dead.
It's rough.
Make sure the cashier is dead.
So that guy's clearly gonna go rob a convenience store and kill the cashier.
Awesome.
So he can stack crates in prison and wake up at 6:15 to get counted 7 times a day. Awesome. I love it.
I don't know why he quit that gig to become a quarterback for the Giants, but yeah. He does look exactly like he looks exactly like Dave Jones.
He
Yeah,
does.
this kid from Alabama.
It took me a
Or Duke.
second. Really?
Yeah. Yeah. He was Duke, right? He was a Duke quarterback,
I think
right?
he was a Duke quarterback. Yeah, he didn't
Yeah.
come from Alabama.
No, that kid went to fucking New England and flushed out too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I need to pull up a picture of Dave Jones so that y'all can appreciate just it was Dave, right? Dave Jones was his
I
name?
think so.
Dave Jones. How he looks exactly.
Jamie, pull that up.
Wasn't he the Monkeys, Davy Jones?
What was the guy's name? Quarterback of the Giants.
It wasn't Dave.
Daniel.
Daniel Jones. Yeah.
Yeah, it was Daniel.
Daniel Jones.
That's funny. I used to know an autistic kid named Daniel. So maybe nope, that's not him. That's not.
Yeah.
That's not.
You could see how
Oh.
someone can make that mistake. Right? Anyway.
I like how he's wearing a purple jersey as a Colts quarterback. What? What is that? Would he make a stop in Minnesota to get there? Holy shit.
I've got a new profile picture. I just found a good one of Daniel Jones.
Right? So, Russia hoaxer Mark Elias sues Wyoming to make it easier for non-citizens to vote.
I know a Russian hacker, not a hoaxer, though.
Russia collusion hoaxer Mark Elias filed a lawsuit Friday challenging a new Wyoming law that makes it harder for non-citizens to register to vote. Governor Mark Gordon of Wyoming allowed House bill to become law on March 21st without his signature. Wait, why didn't he sign it? What? Isn't that wouldn't that be a Republican governor of Wyoming?
Yeah, that's Republican.
Why would he not sign it and just let it go to law without signing it? So he could. That's weird. Huh.
Weird.
So, legislation requires prospective registrants to provide documentary proof of U.S. citizenship in order to register to vote. It should be that way in every state.
Of course.
Why is that even a thing? Like, why is this even an article? Like, who would think it wouldn't be a thing?
Birth certificate, whatever the papers. But Elias, alongside of Equality State Policy Center and American Civil Liberties Union, filed a lawsuit to overturn the will of the state, alleging the legislation violated the First and 14th Amendments. How could it possibly violate the First and 14th Amendment to make you prove you're a citizen to vote when it's the law that you have to be a citizen to vote?
States have plenary authority on how they run their elections. That's straight from the Constitution. Now it gets a little more complicated when it comes to a federal election, because you would think it has to sort of comport with federal law, and this is where Trump is trying to make this a federal type of thing. I actually think that's the one EO he threw out there, which I think he's probably on the weakest footing, in the sense that states really are granted carte blanche, and that's basic constitutional law. It's in the Articles of Construction. So that the states have that retain that power as to how they run their election. Now he can argue that with respect to federal elections, that now this starts encroaching on federal law, but I think he's actually in his weakest levels of power are going to come to with respect to how states are running their elections. So sadly, while you all would think this is something that should be nationwide, and like me, you're astonished that a Republican governor is hesitating on signing such a bill, the states can basically do whatever the hell they want with their stupid elections. So
yeah, but if they can do whatever they want, then why is he able to sue?
Well, he's probably arguing that it's racist or something. That's always what they claim. There was a case called Arizona v. Brnovich, who was the Secretary of the State of Arizona, where this issue or something like it was the DNC versus Brnovich. That's what it was. DNC of Arizona versus Brnovich. The DNC was claiming that there was some sort of requirement for you to show voter ID. And well, the state actually passed a law to that effect, and the DNC said this is racist. The Supreme Court in that case said that just because there might be some sort of racial disparity, when you're talking about like the overall percentages are 0.003%, and it seems like we're talking about 8 people total, that doesn't make it a law racist. So yeah, when it's literally 8 people, that's not now racist just because it's affecting black people more, because it's 0.003% of black people and 0.001% of white people. It's such a ridiculously tiny number that doesn't vitiate the state's right to ensure that their elections are being run with integrity. So yeah, I think Elias is in weak territory here, but I'm assuming that it's based on some claim that it's
the
racist.
suit claims in part that women, as well as Hispanic, young, and low-income voters, are less likely to have acceptable documentation, and in many cases face greater hesitation. But that's ridiculous, because everybody has a driver's license or a photo ID. I mean, you can't. I mean, they were perfectly fine with people having to have a vaccine fucking passport or whatever, a vax card to get in with ID to places during COVID.
You can't fly without a license, guys.
Well, no, you can if you're an illegal alien. Actually, you can fly with a, you can fly with a. You notice
can
to appear
with a government notice attached to your fucking shirt, but not if you're going from, Southwest Airlines terminal. Like that's not a thing.
Yes, 89 subs short of 1,000. So if anyone hasn't liked or subscribed, please subscribe. I'm trying to get past 1,000 with your help.
77 when I last checked.
77?
Yeah, 75 now. There you go.
I'm unsubbing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm unsubbing with this
What a
channel
bunch of
and my alt.
dicks.
Sorry,
You
dude.
dick.
I'm gonna have to hold you down, Jim. You're surpassing me by leaps and bounds.
Yeah. No. Some senior fellow says when women change their names upon marriage or divorce, there's a process for changing and updating their name from birth certificate or prior marriage. Millions of women do it every day. Millions of women? I don't think millions of women change their name every day. Come on.
I think that's euphemism for grow up. But yeah.
It says they're trying to say that pre-existing law requires anyone to attest their eligibility in a sworn statement. So that's what they get away with. It's like, well, we make people pinky swear that they're able to vote.
But you really registered? Yeah. Oh. They need a translator to switch it over. What did they ask me? Dios el registrado. Oh, see.
Boy, I don't speak.
So we'll have to watch
what
this
are
space
you doing?
to see how it goes. Just that. This one. No. Oh, here we go. This is a good story here. We'll share this tab. So inflation numbers show Trump was right about egg prices, and CNN isn't taking it well.
Poor CNN. They have a clip there of Harry Enton showing us on a graph of like how, and egg prices are now going down.
I don't know if there's a clip here.
You mean they didn't slaughter another billion chickens this month?
No, I did see that the CNN. I don't know. I don't have it. I thought I had it, but there was a CNN saying that after months of Trump lying about egg prices, reality has finally caught up to his lie or something. It's like what? What?
What the fuck are they talking about?
Yeah. Data released on Tuesday showed that egg prices dropped 12.7% last month, the biggest monthly decline since 1984. The report follows weeks of President Trump telling Americans that egg prices were falling. Welcome news after the cost of eggs rose for 17 out of the past 19 months. Fucking Trump, man, making eggs prices go up. What's wrong with him?
Yeah, what an asshole. I can't believe him.
Oh, here it is. David Goldman wrote on Tuesday, for months, President Trump has falsely claimed egg prices are tumbling. It wasn't true then, but it's true now.
What was it that Joe Biden and them were saying that prices are fine, you just don't see it yet, or you just don't understand it, or something like that? I can't remember now.
They were saying inflation was transitory or something, and
yeah. So yeah, man. Like you just don't understand that the egg prices are just now falling, and it has nothing to do with Trump. Come on, man. It's so stupid.
Well, I don't even think actually that
there'll be some sort of pundit that comes out and gives you some sort of spiel about the previous president, their egg prices always fell when the next president came in 5-6 months later. That's just historical fact. It's always worked that way. So this is Joe's doing. The reason why your egg prices are now
Obviously.
But it wasn't inflation, if I'm not mistaken. It was actually they were slaughtering all the chickens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
When they had the chicken disease, the bird flu thing.
Yeah. They had the chicken cough. It was no big deal.
And then there's this story here. Hard data suggests tariff-driven inflation and recession fears may be overblown.
Big surprise. Big surprise. Big surprise. Oh my God, who would have thought this for a second?
Mm-hmm.
I told everyone a long time ago when tariffs were first announced. I told them. I said there's so many factors that go into what affects prices that you're going to sit here worrying about like what tariffs are going to do. They'll say, "Oh, I hope you're looking forward to a 90% increase in all your Chinese imported goods." I'm like, just stop it. Just stop it. Just stop it. There's so many factors that play into it that for anyone, if anyone actually knew how prices are affected, they'd be making billions in the stock markets.
Also, and I personally don't care because let's say my Chinese goods do increase, I would rather buy American anyway. So if I'm forced to buy American products at that point, then so be it. I'm helping my neighbor at that point instead of buying Chong Ming's whatever product that he shipped over here that's going to come broken anyway and is only going to last me 2-3 weeks. So
Well, also the largest portion of the cost of just about anything that comes from China is actually the shipping cost. It's so the fuel prices affect your cost more than anything. Like I know there's a business that I had a piece of for a while. Was a fireworks bunker, and so they would import shipments from China basically because that's who makes the fireworks.
Julio, I'm not a Nepo baby. I'm a trust fund baby. Get it right if you're going to make fun of me, you asshole.
The cost to ship a container of the fireworks was 3 times the cost of the actual fireworks.
I'm not surprised. It's far. China's far.
Yeah. So it's far. They call it the Far East for a reason.
That is freaking far. It is.
That's a genius wit at work right there. Nailed it.
So why does it matter? Because warnings and anecdotes are taken on greater importance as signs of how tariffs are working their way through the economy. But the big picture is that the new data Thursday showed steady retail sales and surprising drops in wholesale prices in April. So far, so good. Country's largest retailer, Walmart, known for its low prices, will pass some of these costs on to the consumer. If Walmart can't hold the line, it's hard to see how other retailers might be able to.
To me, the most awesome thing about the tariffs is how it exposed how much crap is being made in China, and also how much markup there was. Like they were showing like how Balenciaga or these other stupid, overpriced, ridiculous crap. It's like their $200 bag that like they get the. Like we learned that they actually were paying like $8 for that stupid bag from China. So with like the double tariffs, it went up to like $16. So, and they're still charging $200 for it. So it's like, oh, now they're gonna charge $208 on the like that's you're not noticing the tariff at all.
Yeah, I used to work with a lady who sold knockoff bags at a AT&T corporate or whatever, and she would bring them in and sell them to all the other like people there. And she was explaining to me that they're literally the same exact bag. These are just made by the people that work there after hours. All the same materials, all the same everything. But these just weren't made on the like when Gucci was running the plant. These weren't made. You know what I mean? Like it was insane to me.
I am blown away and grateful for Mr. Jay Schwalbach gifting 20 Jim Tells You memberships, bringing 20 people closer to seeing The Matrix. This is just fantastic.
See that? See that? See that?
Yes, he is the real MVP.
There you go.
So we will jump off of this story because everybody knew that the inflation was all a bunch of horse shit and the tariffs wasn't going to do anything. That the inflation is driven by the amount of money the fucking government is printing. That's it. That's what drives it. So, oh wait, wrong one. Hold on. This is the one. So
it's Julio's cousins.
The Maduro regime ordered MS-13 and TDA to invade the U.S. with the support of the Biden administration. And now they leverage our legal system to remain in our jails where they can recruit more terrorists to their cause. SCOTUS is letting terrorists use our prison as recruiting centers. In April 2025, nearly 24 members of Venezuela's Notorious. Why do they have to keep saying notorious? Just say what it is. I mean, we know it's terrible, but they got to always put that in there. Notorious Tren de Aragua gang seized control of a unit in Texas ICE detention center. They flooded cells, covered cameras, threatened to take hostages, and ignored direct orders for hours. I actually heard they did in a different one. I don't think it was in Texas. I think it was somewhere else, Colorado, maybe, that they took control of a facility.
Hmm.
According to the Department of Homeland Security, it was a deliberate, coordinated uprising by foreign gang members held in American custody. This should have been the end of the conversation. Just days later, the Supreme Court of the United States ruled that the Trump administration could not deport MS-13 detainees back to El Salvador's Centro del Confinamiento del Terrorism, CICAT, a purpose-built prison for the worst gang offenders and terrorists. Instead, these paramilitary threats remain in the U.S. facilities that were never designed to hold foreign combatants. But we do have a place to hold foreign combatants.
Yeah.
Called Guantanamo Bay. That's where we should be sending them, I guess. I mean,
No joke. I was gonna say the Arctic Circle, but yeah, this is so it's so frustrating. It's like you shouldn't need to be a terrorist for us to get rid of you. It's like you're just not here legally. That's what common sense says. Common sense says you didn't go through the system. You never should have acquired any. You didn't bother filing the paperwork to get in here. We shouldn't need to file the paperwork to get you the hell out. It really should be that simple. But apparently, even if there's someone who's a crazy gang, even I don't care if they're potential gang. I don't care. It's like you're not supposed to be here. Get the hell out. It's not that complicated. It's very simple. Are you a citizen? Yes or no? This is why I was saying Trump should seriously just make me a judge, an administrative judge in downtown New York, in the Sun District, New York, and I will start saying afuera, afuera, afuera to each and every one of these these ridiculous. I'll be kicking them out by the thousands.
Yeah, I don't really understand this whole thing about due process. People keep saying, "Oh, the due process, due process." Due process is whatever process the government determines they're owed.
Here's how you do it. You get 5,000 people in a big warehouse room. Okay, everyone here who came through a port of entry, raise your hand. Okay, anyone who doesn't have the hand raise, okay, you are the special people. You stand over here. Okay, those of you who came, and that's the pile of people who we're sending home. You didn't come through a port of entry. You're not a legal asylee. Adios, amigo. Then all of you who claimed asylum status, raise your hand. If your hand's not raised, step over to the left. We got this little fuera sign that says "Back to Mexico." All of you who came up through a different country and are not from Mexico but passed through Mexico, just if you came from Colombia, Honduras, El Salvador, all these other countries, Uruguay, I don't care, anywhere south of Mexico, because none of these other countries are bordering us. You had to come through there. That's where you asylees were supposed to stop. You didn't stop there. Step to the left. We got a nice big bus that we're going to be taking you back on. And by the time you're done weeding out all the people who actually have a legitimate claim, okay, the rest of you here, tell me in 30 seconds why it is that you're an asylee. And if you're going to start whining to me about how you're broke and there's no money back there, you're not an asylee. Go home. I want to hear names of the people who are coming after you. I want to hear the dangerous life that you have, and you better be coming from Mexico, because you're coming from any other country, afuera. It's really that simple. There's like a quarter of 1% of people who actually have a legitimate basis from illegal aliens, a legitimate basis to be here, and everyone else, it's like literally millions of people. Send them home, send them home, send them home. I'll give them the notice. Tell them you got 2 days to come in here. A week. You have a week to come in here. I don't care. I'll give him a week. We'll give him one more week here. And if you don't want to come through Judge Nierman's courthouse, here's $1,000 and a plane ticket and self-deport. Otherwise, you come in through my courthouse and you got a big sign on the door. There's one sign that says "Entree" and the other says "Afuera el Mexico." It's really that simple. But they're making this whole complicated thing. I'm tired of this.
There's a story I actually have lined up for tomorrow for your show, Joe, about what the judge did to they basically threw out because they established the Roosevelt Reservation on the southern border and made it basically a military base. The entire southern border from California to Texas is a military base now, like 10 miles, a 2 miles. Yeah, they did. It's something that was established back during it's called the Roosevelt Reservation. That was established by a statute 100 years ago or whatever during Teddy Roosevelt, and so they during I think to combat Pancho Villa or something. maybe I
Okay.
don't know, somewhere around that time, but whatever. They declared it, they established it so that anyone who crosses the border now into there is violating a military base. So they could arrest them.
Federal law. At that point, it's federal. Yeah.
Right. So it's a federal
more
crime.
federal
It's
than
not
crossing
just,
the federal border. You not only cross the border, you cross into a base. Yeah.
But it's like it's more. But so if a magistrate judge said no, because you didn't have signs posted in Spanish. Yeah, seriously.
I have to credit. Trump's team is actually on their game as far as coming up with creative ways to circumvent to. It's like they find a loophole, we'll find another way. It's almost like the war between like the people who create viruses and antivirus. That's what this is. We're seeing like, okay, so like the left is basically creating one virus after another, and Trump's administrative team is basically, okay, how do we stop this virus? And they come up with new ways to combat it by saying we're going to make this a military thing. So now it's federal law and F you who are trying to stand in our way.
Well, that's how they were able to deploy all the troops down there, is because it's a military base now. So it's technically
it's really brilliant.
Yeah, it's technically they're not patrolling the borders; they're just stationed there.
Yes, they're protecting the base. I love it.
That's really smart. It's really smart.
Yeah. So this is bad about this MS-13 and what they're doing to the prisons.
Mm.
And then here's a story that goes with the new pope. There's a $1 billion euro hole in the finances to the Catholic Church, and they said only a New York City cardinal can fill it. The Vatican is not bankrupt, but it's hold on, Jesus, hold on. House Budget Committee passes a big bill out of committee tonight, whatever that means. Allegan News, thank you very much for the $4.99. Allegan News is greatly appreciated. Kevin Pastrano, heading to sleep. Have a good night, Jim. Glad to see you had so many viewers tonight, pal. Well, I appreciate it. This is I'm still shaking and sweating and nervous, and I don't know. I'm gonna have to. It's I have stage fright with so many people here.
Is this the largest stream that you've had for real?
Oh yes, definitely.
Did you not come on the King stream where we had like 700 people at one time?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Why you gotta upstage me, dude?
I'm not trying to upstage you. I thought you were there.
Talking about his stream that had more people on it. What the fuck, man?
I know.
No, seriously.
I thought he was my friend.
Not cool.
Not cool.
I was trying to say you've already been here before because I thought you were on that stream.
But he wasn't the host. He wasn't the host. Being on a stream and being the host of a stream are two different things, dude.
No,
act like you're a
even my stream where I make him co-host, that's not his channel. It's a different thing when it's your channel.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's totally different. See, because Chris will tell you this is my first stream ever. And whatever you do, don't cross the streams. So the Vatican's not bankrupt, but it's closer than most believe. It's quite the consensus in Rome, where Pope Leo the 14th, right? That's what that is, XIV 14th, now presides over a holy see beset by years of structural deficits, donor fatigue, and a pension liability that has metastasized into a €1 billion tumor. For the first U.S.-born Pope, the gravity of the Vatican's fiscal position is not an abstraction, it's arithmetic. Receipts are insufficient, liabilities mounting, and the financial credibility of the Curia has been badly tarnished by scandals and sclerosis. Yeah,
Joe, sounds like they're looking for a government bailout to me.
Well, they can sell some other. They own so much property, they could sell some property if they really needed the money.
Yeah, it sounds like they're looking for a bailout of some sort to protect the Catholics or whatever. Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, so
I don't care if the
appointment of a
Vatican's
strong,
broke.
visible contract leader to the helm of the Secretariat for Economy is not a luxury; it's a necessity. There's no better candidate than Cardinal Timothy Dolan of New York. So that's what they're going to try and make the. It's kind of like what was that movie, Godfather 3, right? When doing that, and they're trying to get the Vatican Bank, and they were broke, and there was people stealing money, and then they had to get a mobster from New York to come in and straighten it all out.
What's happening?
Godfather 3.
What? You ever saw Godfather 3?
I did. I did.
I mean, it's nobody's favorite, but it's the whole thing where they were trying to take a Mobilare, and it was controlled by the Vatican Bank.
You're the only one who remembers the plot of Godfather 3.
Exactly.
We all saw it, but no one remembers the plot.
Well, I just remember the terrible acting by
I don't remember any of the plot.
whatever Coppola girl, Sophia Coppola, but
she plays his daughter.
Yeah, she was the daughter, and she said, "Yeah, see, I looked up the plot real quick while no one was paying attention."
I thought so. I saw you look to your other screen, and I was like, "Wait a minute, what's he doing?"
Yeah, listen to the United Space Alliance. Share the link out to all your favorite social media apps. Get the link out there. Get the viewers up to 300. And hey, get my subs up to 1,000 so I can get monetized. That would be fantastic. That'd be great. I would do a dance on camera. Not in my underwear, though. Not an underwear pants dance.
We appreciate that.
Could you please put the camera off when you do your dance?
Yeah,
we're
hold
really
on,
not
I'll do it right
interested
now.
in
See?
seeing it. Yeah, there you go.
See?
9:37 he's at right now. 9:37. So close. All right.
Close. Just so far. You got to take off, Joe?
I do need to take off. I have court. I'm supposed to be in Southern District, New York by 9:00 tomorrow, which is probably not going to happen, but I got to get there as close as possible to that.
I'm sure the vast majority of people watching are from your channel anyway, so they know that Joe is covering the Diddy trial live and in person every day, and he does updates from the trial, and then a wrap-up stream at the end of the evening after me and Joe do a news break type show for about an hour.
Right. After me and Stimulated Cynic do a news break show for an hour.
Yeah. Hey, send me the link. Follow me on Twitter. I'll be there.
No.
It was a joke. It was a joke. We got.
Okay. I see how it is now. All right. Okay.
All right. Anyway, I really had a great time here. You guys, while you're here, please make sure you sub up if you're watching afterwards, which is very possible that some people may be watching my stream because I did redirect them over here. So it's possible that people were watching afterwards. Please make sure you sub up. He's got a great channel. He's a great guy. Obviously, has some great company with him. They cover the news, have a lot of fun. So, and if you can help him get over 1,000, you're actually doing a kindness that doesn't cost you anything. It's a stupid, arbitrary number that seems like, oh, he just wants to get to 1,000. No, he starts getting monetized that he gets paid for views, and that doesn't happen until he hits 1,000 subs. He's less than 75 subs away right now. So if you could be one of the people who help get him that, you're just doing a kindness for a stranger, and it doesn't cost you anything. So hit that sub button. Thank you for joining me, brother. And I will see you tomorrow night. All right?
Tomorrow night. Yep.
Godspeed.
Nice meeting you, Joe.
Nice meeting
Pleasure was all mine. Great meeting both.
Yeah,
all right. See you, buddy.
Oh, Alec got news with another $10. Thank you so much. It's greatly appreciated. Europe has lost most of its Catholics, I believe that's supposed to say, and can't afford its expenses. They want the U.S. to subsidize them. Next, they'll sell indulgences. Expecting the U.S. to bail them out. Why USA Pope? Well, it's possible. It's possible they want but there's actually way more Catholics per capita in South America. I mean, obviously the U.S. has more money, but and they are
practicing Catholics in South America, sure.
In South America, in Central America, way higher number.
Jim, I got to check out too, buddy. I got to drive to Eden, in Wisconsin, and then turn around and drive to Cairo, Illinois. You know where Cairo's at?
Yeah, that's down south, right?
It's Paducah,
Kentucky,
dude.
Yeah.
Yes. So that's my day tomorrow. So thanks for having me on, brother.
Take care, Dave.
Congrats. We'll talk to you later, okay?
All right.
See you,
Cynic.
Yeah,
Bye.
brother.
And then there was 2.
Yes, sir. I'm here, man.
So
I'm here with you, brother.
Now that it's just me and Cynic, we can talk about all the very secret stuff that we couldn't tell anybody.
I'm gonna say the N word.
No, you're not. Yes. Catholics have been avoiding giving money to the church because the church abuses it. Once they start acting properly, they'll get their donations against. Yes, I greatly agree. The actions of the Catholic Church and the whole scandal with the abuse on kids and the altar boys and stuff really, really upset me and a lot of people I know.
Yeah.
That's what I'll say about that. So they need to straighten up and fly right. So
They've got to figure it out, man. I don't know what to tell them. I don't know how to help them, but they know what they need to do.
the problem is neither novel nor surprising. The Vatican's annual budget has been in the red for years. Revenues anchored largely in museum tickets, real estate leases, and donations have failed to keep pace with spiraling operational costs and retiree obligations. The 2020. Wait, I didn't even think priests got paid. I thought they just got to live places and fed and stuff, and they were supposed. Don't they take like a vow of poverty and they give up all their stuff, or they don't do that anymore?
They're supposed to.
Compounding the pension short, the 2023 operating deficit was over 80 million euros. Compounding this is the pension shortfall, officially placed at 631 million euros in 2022. Wow, that's a lot of money. But privately admitted it breached the €1 billion mark. Oh. The Vatican Bank, the Vatican Bank, what did I say? Godfather 3. Though stable, is not a commercial bank and cannot paper over these deficits. Let's see. Allegan News with another $495 says the USA Catholic Church has a lot of property, is why they can afford to pay off for past sins. Well, actually, if I'm not mistaken, the Catholic Church owns more land in the world than anyone else.
I think you're right. Yeah.
You know,
if I
our
remember
property,
correctly.
land, whatever you want to say, they own,
real estate in general. Yeah.
Yeah. Unless corrective actions taken soon, the Vatican's reserves may deplete within the next 5 years. What then? What is to be done? Pope Leo, to his credit, is not blind to the challenge. He's a mathematician by training. Oh, so maybe that's why they put him in there, because he's a mathematician to try to figure out the money, He has maintained Maximiliano Caballero, a competent lay technocrat, as interim prefect of the economic. Wait, isn't that the guy that they caught hung with the money and they hung him in Godfather 3? Maximiliano Caballero?
Yeah, I think so. I think you nailed it.
What the Vatican needs now is a catalytic leadership. They need a catalytic converter to convert the poison into gold. And then if they get enough catalytic converters, they can take the platinum out of them, and then you have all the money they need. Anyway, a man who can raise money, build confidence, face a cynical press corps. See, cynics here, face them. And then charisma and clarity. Dolan fits the profile better than anyone in the College of Cardinals. As Archbishop of New York, Dolan has managed one of the most financially complex and culturally fractious dioceses in the Catholic world. He has balanced budgets, led capital campaigns, and kept parishes afloat amid dwindling attendance and rising costs. He raised over $200 million through the Renew and Rebuild campaign alone. Definitely navigating both the Wall Street donors and parish-level contributors. He understands how to speak to both. Critics might say Dolan is a pastor, not a technocrat. But this objection misses the mark. The crisis of Vatican is not merely technical, it's existential. It's about trust. Donors, once enthusiastic, now hesitate. The Peters Pence collection has declined dramatically since revelations that donations were diverted into speculative real estate ventures. Hey, just like Godfather 3.
Jesus Christ. You're really going to try to hammer that nail, aren't you?
I'm gonna. Allegan News with
right.
another $4.99, dude. I thank you so much, Allegan News. It's a nice grift in the USA Church-owned property, does not pay property tax, but they can rent it out. Nonprofit loophole. Yes, it is. Personally, I don't see why in the U.S. we have tax-exempt status for churches and stuff. I mean, is it because of the First Amendment? That would have been a good question for Joe. To try and get an answer to why we have.
I actually used to know an answer to this, but I've forgotten it now. My brain's become so autistic from being on the internet for so long now. So
it's the Bicucci trial and the broader financial scandal surrounding the London property fiasco. Oh, there's something in property and damage the moral authority of the Vatican's financial arm. It's not enough to balance spreadsheets. Someone must reestablish moral confidence. Dolan's gregarious persona and reputation for integrity are an asset. He commands respect not only among the faithful, but also among spectral media. Plus, I guess it probably wouldn't hurt, too, that Dolan's really tight with Trump.
Yeah.
That's probably what they're leaning in, is to try and get Trump to help somehow. I don't know. Maybe they'll try to sell Trump the Vatican property or something. Holy shit, he'll be building a Trump Trump Rome or something.
The Trump Vatican. It just come here and get your Trump steaks, get blessed by the Pope, become a whole thing.
Never mind all the mob movies. Oppenheimer failed to explain the Jesuits or the Order of the Malta or the Roman Operation Paperclip, the World Bank deal with the USA. These are all good topics that we actually have covered on this channel before. Choosy Heretics, Choose Carnation Revolution. Now we are do a show on Thursday. We used to do a show on Thursday nights, which will start doing it again if people want it, called Theory Thursday, where we would cover a bunch of different theories and crazy stuff. The Anunnaki.
Our problem with the Theory Thursday, though, Jim, was every time it would end up with the Anunnaki. So it's like there's no theory to it.
Everything starts with the Anunnaki. I really hope that I could talk Joe into getting his father, Great Logic, who's like a very learned scholar on the Torah, to come on and we could discuss the Book of Enoch. And
okay, so you're gonna try to get this guy to start talking about the Anunnaki. Like that's your goal.
Yes, that's my goal. That's my goal.
Dude, I've never seen you bounce like a little kid. With so much joy. All right. And look, I'll help you if you send me a link to that show. I will gladly help you get him to talk about the Anunnaki, even though it always leads back to them. I'm personally, you know me, I'm a fan of Yakub, and I believe that's the start.
Oh, it's Enosh. Yeah, the Book of Enosh. It's not Enoch. They pronounce it Enosh. But we'll get him to talk about it. And Allegon News with another $4.99. I don't know why this guy is he's far my number one chat participant in the history of the world so far. Churches were exempt from taxes because they provided charitable services. The state eventually became the primary source of charitable funding. That's a very good point. Because it's like the government wanted to take it away. They did it with the what was it? What's it called? The guild system. There was a guild system that used to do all types of stuff for people, medical treatments, and it was all you had the Knights of Columbus, you had the Elks Lodge, you had the Order of the Eagles, and Shriners, and all these people, and they would do things to help people. And the government through, I want to say it was the probably the American Medical Association or some other groups came in and said, you have to stop them because you're costing us money. So, but that's actually a pretty good theory. I think we actually talked about that one time. Not mistaken.
We've talked so much stuff between this channel and Dave's channel, man. Like it all sort of blends together at this point.
And moreover, Dolan is no stranger to Rome, a former rector. He wrecked it. He used to wreck it in there. He wrecked Ralph in there. Of the Pontifical North American College, he understands Vatican politics. He can navigate the internal currents of the Curia without being consumed by them. He has long supported financial transparency, speaking candidly about the need for the church to be seen as not just spiritually but administratively accountable. His tenure in New York has proved he can implement cost-cutting reforms without alienating staff or clergy. So, what do you think? You think that we need to have an American cardinal take over the finances of Rome?
Yes, personally I do. If Americans are good at anything lately, it's bookkeeping and finances. I don't know how we became the nation state that does that sort of thing, but we have.
It's Yakub, Charles. It's Yakub.
It's the creator of the white race, the father of the white race.
It's claimed that he created the white race. But,
Yakub, peace be upon him.
Yes, but it's if I'm not mistaken, it's comes from lore from the Nation of Islam. It was created by either Elijah Muhammad or Farrakhan. I'm not sure.
It was Elijah Muhammad. Farrakhan just co-opted it and kept it going, and then it was created by Elijah Muhammad, who just mysteriously vanished after giving the great word of Yakub to the people who became the Nation of Islam that you know of now. So,
make you slave of the state. Why the shift? Yeah, you're probably right. To make the state, they wanted the state to take over everything. If the state is your, if the state is your daddy or takes care of you, then you're going to do what the
You're gonna do what
you know,
Daddy wants.
what Daddy wants. And yes, Julio
Yeah.
Scissors, you are correct. It's Afrocentrist BS. Yes, but it's entertaining. Like I enjoyed. It's funny. What's his name? Count Dankula did a great video on YouTube.
Yeah,
And then
his was actually one of the more in-depth versions that
yeah,
I've
and
watched.
it's very entertaining. And there was also one about the war. There was one about the war between the
the Korean Hyperion War, I believe is what it is.
yeah, Hyperion War between the Asiatics and someone, if I'm not mistaken,
Yeah.
or the. And then I have one more story. Wait, do I have another story?
I don't know. I'm just along for the ride. I'm in the passenger seat playing with the radio.
Yes, I do have one more story. It's a good one. Okay.
You can pull it up.
Yeah. It is 2020 election fraud, counterfeit ballot trucking by USPS. Now, this is a story from a man named Brady who had 3 lovely ladies of his own. Anyway.
Stop it now. Wasn't this was a big story in 2020 about the USPS guy, right? Claiming that hey, I know that they're doing all this fraudulent stuff, and then all of a sudden that story just died. It just disappeared. It just went away. So
here it is. This was tweeted out by General Mike Flynn, who is a great guy, you know, happens to follow me on Twitter, so that tells you he's awesome. For all who care, there's a massive whistleblower case filed about mail-in ballots. The USPS should not be involved in elections whatsoever. This case was filed post-2020. The DOJ under the Joe Biden regime slow-rolled it. It is moving along and should result in USPS being removed from ever participating in elections. Any lawyer out there can check this out. So
my problem with that is, though, I don't trust private companies to do it either.
I honestly don't think anything should be done by shipping mail, anything. It should all be done
I agree with you completely, but let's say you have to do something like we did in 2020, right? UPS and FedEx and all these people make donations, right? And I personally don't want any private company who could potentially sway an election to get whatever sort of thing they want through. So somehow, some way, we've got to find like a happy middleman of some sort, just in case.
Allegan News. What I will say is, Alex Jones was right. Jar is pretty damn full.
Yeah,
you know, he was wrong about a couple things that were horribly wrong. Sandy Hook, he was wrong about Sandy Hook. He was wrong.
Well, technically, he wasn't wrong. I watched those shows. He didn't say anything. He just let the people call in.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, you're right. He never actually said it. He let other people say stuff, so he didn't.
Yeah, he was wrong for not ending the call and slapping their hand, right? Yeah.
Yeah, he should have.
He should have done that.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm really confused, Allegan, as to why Mike Flynn isn't part of it. Like, what happened? Why he's not part of the Trump administration? Because I thought he did dirty in the first Trump administration. It seemed like that they threw him under the bus by not and supposedly it was Mike Pence that did it to him, that basically screwed him.
Yeah.
So I don't know, but I mean, this guy was, you're talking about a guy who served the country for 30 years, 4-star general, right? 4-star, 3 or 4-star general. He tried to help Trump and be his national security advisor, and basically got railroaded over talking to someone on the phone, just saying, "Hey, I can't talk to you really about it now. Just give us some time, and after the election, and once we're sworn in, we'll talk." And that's what did him in. So I don't know. But anyway, so yeah, 2020 election frauds were to begin. Counterfeit ballot trucking, 9 trucks, 1.5 million counterfeit 2020 ballots in each truck. USPS holding the contents. Wow, this is a Rasmussen story. So, Oh, this isn't a video. I thought this was a video. That's Tony Schaefer. Hey. So this isn't a video, so I don't know. And then here it is. Your government was effectively overthrown on November 3rd, 2020. after 6 swing states stopped counting simultaneously on election night. Does anyone remember that?
Yeah. I remember. Pepperidge Farm remembers too. It still blew my mind. Like I said, I've said before, I went to bed and I was like, "Oh, we've got this." First time I ever went to bed without an election being called. And then I woke up the next morning. I was like, "What the fuck happened, dude?
Yeah,
What is going on?"
I won't dispute this, Allegan News. I don't know what Mike Flynn's done really. I did like his movie though. I don't know if you saw his I think it's just called Flynn or thing. I think it is. I can't remember, but it was really good. I think it was done by what's her face, the daughter of what's his name, the guy, the guy that was involved with like First Blood and Apocalypse Now and what the hell's his name? You know who I'm talking about?
No.
Big producer, big name producer guy. His
Yeah, I don't-
daughter was involved in the first Trump administration. It's driving me nuts now. Oh my god. Not Coppola. No. Not Coppola. No, it was a producer. He did like a whole bunch of stuff. Like he was like Apocalypse Now. He was like The Thing. He was Escape from New York. Like he's a producer. Amanda Milius. That's right. Yeah. So yeah. So it was I can't remember now. I can't remember his first name. Something Milius. John Milius. But she did it. Amanda Milius did the Michael Flynn documentary. It's actually pretty good, I think. Yeah, I wouldn't take my news from the My Pillow guy or Flynn. The My Pillow guy, I think, kind of. I don't know. I don't know what happened with some of the stuff that he claimed he was going to do, but I am happy that the Trump administration seems to be trying to do something for Tina Peters, that clerk in Arizona or Colorado that was investigating what they were trying to do to the voting machines, and they basically railroaded her and locked her up for like 9 years or something over doing her job. So,
bro, they don't give a shit. They don't care. It's so wild to me.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I think that's all I have.
All right.
Unless there's something you want to talk about.
I didn't really bring anything. Like I said, I've been busy doing family things all day. And you sent me the DM earlier. I said, "All right, I'll be there, man. Be there to support my homeboy. Make sure I've got my microphone ready and ride or die."
Oh wait. Here's something good. I got something here. Hold on.
It's Anunnaki time.
I like these.
They're the elected officials. They get to say what they want. But yelling at me and Bongino, we could take it all day long.
I don't even understand why. Why did they do that? I mean, why put the FBI and its reputation at risk? What, it was just to win an election? Why?
Because they're weak. Because they're weak. I hate weak people. I can't stand it. They didn't have. We're on TV, so I already said BS once. But they didn't have the guts, the courage.
They're the elected officials. They get to say what they want. But yelling at me and
Julio's
Bongino,
right.
we could take it all day long.
Yeah, these are creepy as hell to me. They're wild.
They are pretty creepy. So there's
Say
this
hi,
also.
Man.
There's this.
AI is taking over.
So go figure. I have a feeling that they leaked this whole thing about Biden's cancer was strictly just so that they could get away from talking about how he was clearly demented. And
so now they're gonna say it was cancer, huh?
His medical
No. So they can say we don't know. Let's not talk about that because he's got cancer. So just
Okay, I get you.
condition now, his announced medical condition now. Do you believe that silences or delays a lot of conversations about his last year and a half of his presidency for now?
Yeah, well, I mean, I think those conversations are going to happen, but they should be more muted and set aside for now as he's struggling through this.
His medical condition now, his announced medical condition now. Do you believe?
Okay.
Yeah, so they're
All
going
right,
to use
hold
it
on.
to.
Hold on. No.
on.
No. I mean, we do theories on this show. Everybody saw the way Biden acted in like the last probably 6 weeks of this last election.
Nunaki.
He was put the Trump hat on. He done all kinds of things to sort of kneecap Kamala. He done all these different things, taking little jabs and snipes and different little shit at her to try. I swear it was like he was mad that he was removed from the ballot. So now all of a sudden this dude has cancer. Something about that feels fishy.
Yeah,
And
definitely.
I don't
This
mean
guy's-
heckle fish.
Yeah. No. Allegan News is on it. They chased after the crazy German story in 2016. It was a distraction, just like Biden's cancer and Epstein himself. Be careful of distractions. Yeah,
I'm going a little bit more conspiracy theory with it. Let's say he actually does have it. Who would know all the
I think
inside?
he does have. No, I think
Yeah,
he does have cancer, but I think they've known he's had cancer since he announced that he was doing a speech in like 2022, and he was on. He goes, "Everybody in Delaware has cancer because when it would rain, the oil would come on our windshield."
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah, they would be on our windshields. You would spray the windshield wiper, and it would just smear everywhere. Look, the dog face pony soldier. You know what I mean? Come on.
Yes, Charles. The Y Files is awesome, and I will give them credit. They do not strike you if you play their content. If you want to watch it and talk about it, play it. They have never once claimed anything, done any type of strikes or anything. They have been fantastic, awesome people.
I thought prostate cancer was extremely aggressive.
It depends. See, that's the thing. Prostate cancer, actually, most of the time, you're going to die from something else before it kills you.
Yeah, but I thought it was like
if you'd start to develop prostate cancer in your 50s, then they have to do something about it. But most people, when they find it, you're in your 70s or 80s. Biden is in his 80s. If it wasn't so bad along, they would just say you're going to die from something else first. They wouldn't mess with it.
Yeah. I don't know though. Like what I just wonder if maybe he knows a little too much and maybe he got tapped with that cancer gun. That's the conspiracy. That's the conspiracy theory that popped into my head. Was like, does he know way too much? And they popped him with that bad boy.
Oh, I'm up to 950, so I only need 50 more subscribers to hit 1,000.
You got 270 people in here last I looked, just a couple minutes ago.
No, it dropped down. We've been losing some people since Joe left. They don't like.
Well, I mean, I get that. I mean, it's understandable. I don't like you.
I
don't like you as much as I like Joe. But
if that jerk who claims he's a friend of mine, Mercada, ever showed up, I probably would do pretty good. But
Nick Mercada is good, folks. And maybe
he just won't ever show up. I don't know. Goes on Camelot's show all the time. Just won't come on here. We're not big time enough for Minnesota people.
I do have a hookup with some white powder. You think maybe you could let him know?
I don't think that. I think he's staying away from that. I think he's doing a good job staying away from it.
I agree. But hey.
Oh, thank you, Captain Bipto. I appreciate you still being here. You're good people.
Bipto's all right. I'm more of a Julio fan, but I enjoy Bipto also. That Kevin guy, though.
Nick's a good guy. I just want him, I hope everything works out. He's a good person. That's all I'm saying. He's a good guy. I think so.
Yeah, like
he made
Nick.
some mistakes.
I've always liked Nick. I've got
who hasn't made some mistakes in their life,
I've got a $50 bet. No, it's a $100 bet that he makes it through everything and gets off of probation. Everything's fine.
I think he will.
I bet on him on the King stream. There was a couple people that bet against him, and I said I'll put my money where my mouth is. We've got a $100 standing bet for 5 years, I believe. Isn't that how long his probation is?
Oh my God, this is getting crazy. What is with these? Oh my God, we have Brian Oldenkamp gifting 20 Jim Tells You memberships. 20 more people are welcomed into the Matrix. Looking for the Matrix. Oh my God, I didn't even realize I could be doing this.
I'll need to subscribe.
House of R, Kathleen Menges, Barb Loves Alaska, Jimmy the Lumberjack, Deep Surface, Kathy Weirley, DJ Gravy Mix, sensational shout out. Adelion, Jordan, 7373, Pin, Max Deplorable, Dennis B,
I'll be
Chester
right back,
Smile,
Jim.
Monica Corpin, OKC Rebel. Wow, all you people should thank Brian Oldenkamp for being such an awesome dude. Thank you, Brian. 3 cheers for Brian Oldenkamp. Yes, I hope they like Anunnaki content because we kind of shift into Anunnaki every once in a while. So MLS, I would get MLS on. I like MLS. I think he follows me on Twitter. Actually, I could probably get him to come on. So yeah, so let's look. Oh, where are we at here? So that was that story. Pull this down, and let's see here. Here we have Biden's White House doctor being questioned. So this guy actually might get into some trouble, Biden's White House doctor, because if he was covering up what his sickness, they could actually, I don't know, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to see people prosecuted willy-nilly. If they did something wrong, people need to be held accountable if they violated people's constitutional rights, if they broke the law to target people, if they politically targeted, people like, the people that were responsible for Roger Stone's house getting raided at 5 a.m. and the CNN being there watching it. Those people need to be held accountable. The people responsible for what happened to Flynn, the people responsible for what happened to Peter Navarro, that needs to, those stuff has to happen to certain people just to make it happen. So.
Are you Dr. O'Connor?
I don't know.
How's the president's health? It is? Are you going to come to the briefing room to address us? Probably not. Could that change before the end of his term? And how is his mental cognition?
It's excellent.
It's excellent. Is there a reason you didn't perform a cognitive test on him?
We don't need to. He's here every day.
He's good every day? What about the speculation about Parkinson's disease or a related condition? Dr. O'Connor, is there anything to that speculation that there might be something related to Parkinson's?
I mean, I don't know. I just look at that guy's face and the way he answers those questions, and I don't believe him. I think he's lying. I would love to get Steve Gosney on. He's busy, from what I understand. He's doing a lot of private stuff. He's in Miami. He's actually not that far from me. I'm in Fort Myers, so he's not that far from me.
Docs.
I don't give a fuck.
Telling everybody.
Mm-hmm. I'm not. Like I said, you're gonna come. You better be prepared. Bring a lunch.
I'm on the Kiwi Farms right now, starting a Jim Tells You thread. Don't you worry about it.
No, don't do that to me. No.
Yes.
Yeah, he's good.
Okay. And the specialist's visit to the White House, does that have anything to do with that concern?
No, he's seen him 3 times. Yeah, my letter was clear.
Okay. Thank you.
So,
what is that to the side of him over there? That mohawk idol.
About the speculation about Parkinson's.
Yeah.
Oh, this right here?
Yeah, what is
that? Is weird. That is some weird stuff going on. Well, they did have some strange people in Biden's White House that would just show up and
is this back there in Biden's administration?
This is back there in Biden's administration.
Oh,
yeah,
that never mind. Yeah, that was a retarded question, right?
Yeah. So
first time tits have ever been shown on the White House lawn.
There's something else we could cover here. They were talking about a lot of people were speculating and saying that Trump, there was no reason to bring those South Africans to the United States, that they really aren't refugees, that they're not in any danger and nothing's going on. So, here we have the government officials in Africa talking about what's going on there, what they're going to do.
Yeah.
So deep into history, you've taken us back to the 17th century. Yeah. In that case, shouldn't everybody leave the property to the Khoisan, who are thought to be the native occupants of South Africa?
No, actually, Africa and South Africa.
Because what they're talking about there is because in actuality, none of these people, the Bantus and the different ones that are in South Africa, none of them are native to South Africa. They came to South Africa after it was built up by the Boers, or whatever you want to call them. There was no farmland there. There was no farms. There was no farming going on.
There was nothing,
until it was done. Rhodesia and all these other places. were nothing until the Dutch and the Boers came in and actually established and created civilization there. There wasn't civilization there. So he's like, no, because she's saying, like she just said, putting up, well, wait, none of you people here now are native. The people that were native to the area, they think were some other group of people.
Yeah.
So
Actually, Africa and South Africa, it belongs to the Bantu people. It belongs to the Ngunis. So it belongs to the people of Africa.
What about Tavy here?
We are not saying it doesn't belong here. Now that we are living together here, our perspective is that the land must go back to the chiefs, the traditional leaders, and the state. We are unapologetic about this. Land must be expropriated without compensation.
And so deep.
So land must be expropriated without compensation. What that means for you to not pay attention is they're going to confiscate the land, and that's what they've been doing, and then sending the people to live that have the farms to live in camps, and then they just kill them eventually to get rid of them. Also, like the numbers are very stunning. That like 95% of the food in South Africa is produced by these farmers who happen to be white.
It's weird, right?
Yes.
It's almost like they know how to do farming correctly, while the other guys just like putting tires around people's necks and lighting them on fire.
Yeah, like a lot of people give Mandela a pass, but I mean, like, because he was locked up, but his wife Winnie was out giving people necklaces with tires and stuff and lighting them on fire, and so you know.
But hey, he well, how do they say it? Didn't do nothing, I believe, is how they say it.
Yeah. Better question. Due to 25th Amendment requirement, is the executive branch legally permitted to ignore medical ailment that impairs POTUS ability to serve in office? Well, technically, see, there's no teeth to the 25th Amendment really that imposes anything on the executive, because it would take like the vice president or certain cabinet members of the administration to step in. But if none of them are willing to do it because they're able to run the government, anyway, from behind his back or under his nose or without him,
they would have to be willing to step on him in order.
Right,
to get
they have to be. Someone has to step up and do something. They have to do it. There should be. They probably need to update the 25th Amendment slightly, maybe to so that Congress maybe can vote and act. So that they could say, hey, we need some other way, because basically you have what happened with the Biden administration, where nobody was willing to do anything because they didn't need to, because it was being ran by the people that wanted it to be run. Probably,
he was
Obama
just a
people were running
figurehead at
it.
that
He was
time.
a figurehead, and
that makes sense.
Also,
I think they already knew that they were gonna oust him off the ballot anyway. So
the South African president is supposed to come here to meet with Trump because they canceled all aid to South Africa.
Good.
Cut it off. And some of it, probably a lot of it has to do with Elon Musk, because Elon Musk has Trump's ear, and Elon is, Elon wanted to build factories and stuff in South Africa. He wanted to build stuff in South Africa so that give people jobs and to, give back to his basically his home country, where he's from. But they demanded, they wanted 50% or 40% ownership and everything. And he's like, I can't do that. It's not profitable. There's no way to
get wrecked.
What's this say? It was not first women chess shown at White House. Lincoln wife was very free willing. It was first trans women chess. Oh yeah. I know what you're talking about. So you're talking about during the Pride events or whatever, when there was the people showing it. Yeah. That was not really that was not really. What's this? Gunther Eagleman status.
Julio, I guarantee you there's Rule 34 of Mary Todd Lincoln. I don't even have to search it. You're more than welcome to Google it.
Oh my God, I didn't even notice. I wasn't paying attention to the ghetto chat. I had $1 from Spud's 1964, Uber D Coyote. Thank you very much for the Rumble rant. So let's see what this is. Here, let's see what this is. Dear fellow Americans, Adam Schiff just shit himself. The integrity of the American pardon system requires that we examine the Biden pardons and who did what. We will get to the bottom of it. Count on us. All is best. Ed Martin, U.S. Pardon Attorney.
Nice.
Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, they did. That's slick. They actually, the guy that they screwed him over, and they screwed him over, and now he's the pardon attorney, and he's going to be looking into all the all the pardons. Oh, there is that. Where is that? Give me that. Where is it? Shit. Where is that? Hold on, let me pull this down. So there was a thing. Did you see that video of the who was the in Britain, and they were interviewing a migrant in Britain, and he kept saying, give me that, give me that.
Oh yeah,
gives me that.
Yeah. Give me this, give me that. Yeah, it was basically a retelling of my intro on the King stream. I was like, Jesus, man.
Give me that. Where did I know I had it. Gives me that. Ooh. I'll find it. Gives me that. Oh, here we go. I think this is it. Oh, no. What happened? Come on. Here. Okay, I believe this is it.
People pay for you to have a house.
Maybe they give me house, they give me anything I can need, they give me.
Just give it.
Yeah.
Just give it. Give them whatever they
just
need.
give it.
Just
Yeah.
Give it.
Give me this, give me that. Don't worry about it. Give it over, bro.
Oh,
let
thanks,
me stay
Julio.
here
Thanks for
free.
being in the chat. Thanks for coming out, Julio. I kind of thought you were going to jump into the stream, but it's fine if you want to stay in the chat. I appreciate it. Gives me that. Go ahead, Cynic. We were saying.
No. I was just we should just let them stay wherever they want to for free and continue to do whatever they want to. Stay in all these fancy hotels or whatever, because I've said it several times before. It's like the Mars thing. Like we should, we're all trying to go to Mars or whatever. I've never understood that, because if my home may potentially burn or something like that, why the fuck would I move next door to the shithole and fuck that up or what? It's just, I don't understand not making your own situation better is what I'm trying to get at, right? Like real men stay where they're useful at. And these men running away from their countries, not doing anything to better it because they know it's a shithole, just bothers me. And they just want to come to whatever country and shit it up too. They're not doing anything to make anything better, and it just pisses me off. It's got nothing to do with what country they're from. It's their manhood, right? It's them being men.
I'm a big Salty Cracker fan. I think he does great work. Did he get kicked off of YouTube? Is he only on Rumble?
I'm not sure. I think so.
Set perjury trap by calling Biden's pardons before Congress. Pardon doesn't cover not lying under the oath. Yeah, there was a lot of talk about doing that, but I think Hunter Biden has been hiding in South Africa, of all places, to keep from having to talk to Congress. He's been there, I think, for months now, to avoid being called before Congress. Pretty sure. No, he's still on YouTube? Okay, I only see his stuff on Rumble.
Dude, since I've started streaming, except for the people that I regularly stream with, or I don't see anybody's streams. It's insane.
Why?
Because people in England is perfect.
Oh, so you think we're all rich people,
Yeah.
so we can give? Okay. Yeah. Can I tell you something?
Okay.
We are not all rich people. If I said to you, look, we don't have enough houses in England, would that stop you coming to England?
Okay. Maybe I come back in my. Maybe I come back in my country and I change in another country after.
Yeah,
I'm
maybe
going.
you try another country
Yeah.
if you realise that we can't afford England. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Now I just want everyone at home.
Yeah, I mean, we're running into the same problem here. It's developing a where we have what's going on here? Where our the rent prices and everything are going through the roof because of all the people coming in, driving the rates up. I mean, it's not the end of the world, really, but because
I don't know, man. I don't know, man. I just, yeah, it's not the end of the world, of course. Like you can say that, but it is the end of a society that has been running pretty well for a while, and now it's becoming so fucking outlandish, and you can do nothing about it. Right? If you're over in Britain, how do you even protect yourself? If you're in the UK, how do you protect yourself?
yeah, they can't. They're not allowed to
They can't.
protect
They're
themselves at
even,
all.
and we all know. I think everybody's seen that. Who was it? Idris Elba or somebody was doing the going around doing a PSA talking about how kitchen knives should no longer have a point on them because that makes them more dangerous, and everybody should they should outlaw them, and you should only have blunted kitchen knives. So it's insane to me to allow a group of invaders to come into your home and take it over, and they've done it. It's 2 times now. Right? We know that the Muslims came in and have started Sharia law cities over there to where you can't even like normal fucking people can't even walk around those towns or whatever they fucking call them over there in that mushy pea eating place.
Yeah, it's the whole thing with Tommy Robinson and different
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
going
So you
on,
got the
and like,
Tommy Robinson stuff, and now you've got these people from Africa coming in and doing the same thing. And it's just to me like when is enough a fucking enough?
you would think at some point it would be a problem, but if I'm not mistaken, London is majority Muslim now.
Yes. Ever since they had that Muslim mayor come in there and you know really start fucking things up. I just don't understand. Like when is the throw the tea in the harbor moment for them?
I don't know. You would have thought they would have had it already. This
Yeah.
Elegant News for another $5.99. Thank you so much, Elegant News. Salty is mostly on Rumble. Also shut off YouTube history, and you'll get feed of only why you follow. Really? I didn't know you could do that. No.
Blood sausage, beans, and mushy peas, the best breakfast. Look, nah, man, come on now. You can't be putting beans on toast. That's blasphemy.
Yeah, there is a thing with Rumble where if you're streaming to Rumble, you got to actually get paid decently from Rumble. You have to stream using Rumble Studio, and you have to stream 30 hours on Rumble Studios every month. 5 hours of that has to be Rumble Premium only, and that's how you can get paid. It's a pain in the ass, and it's I don't know. I mean, it's not anything that I would be doing unless I don't know, unless people actually enjoy my streams and want to watch them, and then maybe I'll do more. I don't know, but yeah. Yes, please do not remove the tips from knives. Praise Allah. Yeah, well, if they did that, they wouldn't.
Yeah, I see it all the time, and I just think Jesus, man.
Oh, Wrestler Town, thank you for becoming a new member. Welcome to Seeing the Matrix. I don't know. It's a work in progress, so don't hold it against me.
You deliver it so half-heartedly. I think you could make it work if the delivery was better, Jim.
You think so?
I think you could.
Seeing the Matrix. Is that better?
Yeah, that's a little better, but still a little pretentious. I think you should probably workshop it in front of the mirror, or you should set up a StreamYard dead link sometime and invite me, Julio, Dave, Ruby, and then just practice over and over again.
I have both chats on here. I get like this is a Rumble chat. The only thing is I don't get the Rumble rants on here on this, but I have it set up so that I can see Rumble. If anyone chats in the Rumble, I can see it on my StreamYard and show it on the screen. So it's integrated. So here's another Rumble one right here. And here's a Rumble one here. What? No Wakanda Forever? Let's see. So I can see Rumble chats here. It just, I can't post to Rumble from StreamYard, and needs a techno reverb. Okay. Well, I'll work on that. I will try to get better. And every day is a learning experience. And I think Nick and Salty have similar contracts. I don't know if Nick still has a contract with Rumble or not. Maybe he does. But they're supposed to, I think they're intent on driving people from YouTube to Rumble, which is fine. I like Rumble. I think Rumble's great as far as, they don't have any limitations on what you have to have. People can send you you sign right up to Rumble, and if anyone wants to send you a Rumble rant, they can. There's no limitation on you have to have so many followers, you have to do anything, and technically you're monetized on Rumble, but the CPM is really low unless you get to like I said, if you use their Rumble Studio and then do so much on Rumble Premium. And seeing the Matrix is just I don't know, man. It was about it was just the levels of the membership. The first one is a casual listener, and the second tier I think is called paying attention or starting to pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third one is seeing the Matrix. Just like
yeah,
it was just something I was drunk.
No, I get it, man. I think the premise is there. I think you've just got to workshop it a bit more.
I got to workshop it a little better.
Yeah,
but,
I think so.
Where was I at? There was something oh, here it is. So this was a great tweet today, right here. So, Congresswoman, I don't know, Congressperson Sarah McBride, he says, I'm heartbroken to learn of President Biden's diagnosis. President Biden has faced immense challenges throughout his life with resilience and grace. I know he'll face this battle with the same strength and dignity. My prayers are with him, Dr. Biden, and their entire family. And then Mr. Bad Hombre says, let this be a reminder, routine prostate exams save lives. Make sure to schedule yours, Congressman. I guess it is Congressman then. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, Spuds 1964. Thank you for coming out. And I hope to see you again sometime. I'll be on with Joe Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I believe, for about an hour in his late streams, and then I'll do some stuff either Friday or Saturday or maybe late at night after Joe's doing his own stuff. We'll see. What's this in terms of Rumble doesn't keep 30% of your super chats, you just get paid later. Okay, have to check that out. And in terms of ad-free viewing, Rumble needs to get cheaper. Yeah, I think it's $10 a month for Rumble Premium. I think for ad-free viewing on Rumble. Well, I want to thank everybody for coming out, especially Cynic. I think this was a great show. This was probably my best show ever. I have to say.
You're welcome.
Yeah. And I really appreciate it. Thanks for all the subs, all the memberships, all the people who joined the memberships. I really appreciate it. You're really making me think I'm not retarded for doing this.
No, you're not, Jim.
Thank you
did a
very
good job,
much.
brother.
And I'll see you guys all tomorrow.